What do you see as the biggest challenges in conservation?
The growing human population. Because where we are, there's nothing else.
And do you have views about what should be done about that?
Can't you guess?
Well, it could be on a spectrum from mass sterilisation to greater availability of contraception. I don't know what your views are as to what can be done about it.
Well, I think it might be described as voluntary family limitation.
I grew up in the 1960s, watching those TV commercials with those starving kids in Africa who stared vacantly at the camera with sad eyes and distended bellies. And in 6th grade, my Glee Club teacher, Mr. Collins, had us change the words in this song we were singing. 3 billion people in the world to 4 billion people in the world. And I was shocked. I couldn't believe that the population was so big. And I was even more shocked because no one else in the class seemed at all disturbed by this fact. And a couple days later, I told my friend Susie Hollander that because there seemed to be too many people in the world for it to handle, that I wasn't going to have any kids. And she looked at me and she replied that she was going to have 3. This is unsustainable.
I am not a bigot. Mother Earth is dying because I exist. I trust these philanthropist eugenicists who just want what's best for me. I am an empowered and free global citizen.
A war over resources? Or will it stop growing because people choose to have smaller families? And by smaller families, I mean one-child families. And this is where people start getting nervous talking about overpopulation and population issues because they're scared that I'm going to take away their rights to have children. But I don't want to take people's rights away. I want to give people rights.
Hi, we're Natasha and Luca, that vegan couple from YouTube and other social media.
The time has come to make animal rights history.
Join us in London on October 7 for the Animal Rebellion.
It's a 2-week disruption, but you can come for any time you're able to.
Taking direct action for animals to disrupt business as usual and demand serious change from governments is what the animal victims and the planet desperately need.
Hey everyone, we're in Lisbon, Portugal. We are disrupting in a supermarket, or a shopping centre I should say, with lots of restaurants around us. We have about 23 activists with us tonight and we're playing the screams of animals.
If we all sterilize ourselves and give the animals human rights, we can all have equal animal rights together and eat plant-based fortified kibble to stop the #climate crisis and achieve #climate justice with the good grown-ups at the big banks, governments, and global corporations.
Is spending $1 million on that last 3 months of life for that patient, would it be better not to lay off those 10 teachers and to make that trade-off in medical costs? But that's called the death panel, and you're not supposed to have that discussion. So of course,
that's an interesting thing you just said.
Our Earth is warming up and our oceans are rising. Extreme weather is wrecking millions of lives.
From California to the Amazon, our forests are burning. We are in a climate emergency.
We cannot let this happen on our watch. Up to 1 million species are becoming extinct because of mankind's actions, and time is running out.
History shows us that when enough people rise up and demand change, those in power have no choice but to act.
Millions of people around the world are taking to the streets on a climate strike, demanding our leaders listen to the science and act.
We must take back power. That means voting for leaders who care about the future of our planet. Join in supporting environmental movements like Greenpeace or Fridays for Future, a global youth movement inspired by Greta Thunberg.
And doing what we can to live in a greener lifestyle, like cutting out meat and dairy in your diet and reducing plastic use.
I mean, the population's going to have to stop growing at some point, so why not stop now? Instead of wishing that some invention or technology will save us that doesn't even exist yet and we're not even sure works. So for everyone to have quality of life, the number of humans on Earth needs to go down. And I believe that it needs to go down to 2 billion people, which sounds radical because there are 7 billion people on the planet today, but it's actually the world population of just 80 years ago. So let's change our idea of what the ideal family looks like. And let's not be afraid to talk about overpopulation, because it is not about taking rights away from people. It is about giving opportunities to women, children, and future generations. And lastly, let's be part of the solution.
The Red Brigade symbolizes the blood that connects all of us. It's the blood that connects humans, species, all of us to the earth. So for me, the Red Brigade is a vessel to hold the emotions of grief and loss and rage and joy and love and peace. And it's those emotions that connect all of us. And we work, or we try to work as one, which symbolizes that we are all connected. We act as one. We move as one.
We are all one. Everything is relative and morality is subjective, so we must act together to save the planet. You are highly evolved gods who evolved by random chance through evolution that created something out of nothing in a meaningless cold material universe that evolved life out of nothing by transforming cosmic ponscum into monkeys who must save the planet by getting rid of themselves and creating a totalitarian technocratic global monoculture society. We must eat nutrient-fortified kibble in our smart cities and pay for our cockroach milk and VR porn with carbon credits so the IMF, World Bank and Fortune 100 can save the planet from the evil CO2 we exhale, and poor little Billie Eilish can have her future back. I am not deceived. Pop culture is healthy and is not programming me to self-destruct. I will save the world by eating sustainable vegan kibble and demanding the government give me the same rights as animals. I am not being dehumanized. I am empowered. Veganism and vasectomies should be mandatory. Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide, and I trust the people on the TV screen. Peace, Reflections.
And now you can hear me. What's up, bigots? What's up, everybody? Let's make sure my camera, I got it bright enough here. Whoa. Ooh, too bright. Too bright. And then too colorful. How's everybody doing? How are you bigots doing in the chat? I got Jay Dyer here today. Let me see if Jay has stepped out of the room on the Zoom. Jay's gonna pop in a minute. The infamous Jay Dyer. Jumping on the stream today. I just kept the background from the last stream. I don't know, something about Cosby Morpheus that just captures the spirit of the age, doesn't it? You could take the red pill or the blue pill from this creeper. Speaking of taking the red pill or the blue pill from the same creeper, did you guys enjoy the debate last night? Do I want a cake? Do I want a steak? Yeah, but I can't. I don't have time to eat one. It's too late, dude. Thanks, though. Just got offered a steak that I had to turn down for your own good, bigots. You know, for your sake. The things I do for you. I'm basically just giving up the most delicious steak that I could have had all day for you guys, because I just love you so much. Don't you love when those the YouTuber chicks? Hi everybody, I missed you guys so much. I just wanted to say that I missed you guys so much. Oh, I love you. But like seriously though, he's not here right now, but he's gonna be back on in a second. But that's how Jay tries to talk to me, like behind the scenes. It gets super weird. It's like, oh. Before I started, Jay was here and he was just like fawning over me the whole time. Like that's basically whenever. Oh, there he is. What's up, Jay? Senor Dyer, can you hear me?
Hey, what's up?
What's cracking, man? Jay Dyer, jaysanalysis.com. We're live, dude. We live.
Cool.
Yeah. Dude, you're looking suave. You're looking Rico Suave today. You have some of your...
Rico Suave. It's not just today, dude.
Did you have the help you with your hair, though?
Well, I had my assistant and my hairdresser, yes, if that's what you mean by the help.
Maria.
Maria Conchita.
I know you like to roll it. Maria. It's good to see you, Jay.
I had the worst migraine all night. After I got off of this show with you, I just had hours of pain. I don't usually get those kinds of headaches.
Jessica had a headache the other day. It seemed like it came out of nowhere, but it was like all day. I mean, it was like we're the light sensitive migraine where.
Yeah, I had to lay down for a long time. Yeah.
Was it posture? I mean, were you working on the computer a lot that day, like upper back?
I was doing live streams all day.
Yeah, so. That'll do it. That'll freaking do it, man. I got to balance it. I get zonked after these. Like after last night's live stream, I was up till 2:00. You know, it's hard to sleep after staring at the computer for so long. Sorry to hear that, man. I hope your faculties are with you today.
I'm good. I'm good today. I got plenty of sleep. Eventually, I had to go back and lay down after I woke up in the middle of the night for about an hour and just laid there and fucked on chocolate and wept into my pillow and thought about how you wanted a safe space, and then when I left, you had a safe space.
It was really nice when you left. It was just me, like just my face. I just got to talk and see my own face, and just
you could finally just talk to yourself.
Finally have a good conversation with me. I finally got some alone time with me.
Used to, right?
Oh man.
Well, Tristan's a psychopath. You can't go on Tristan's stream. He's a psychopath.
The carnists will gaslight you. They pretend they're your friends, but really they're not your friends. They're not the friends of anybody. I gotta turn Jay's audio up. Jay's audio is gonna get better when we got multiple guests. I've got Jay's audio the way it is now. Let me know if I need to turn Jay's audio up or my audio down. I can do either one.
They all sound like they're like drunken, blimey sailor pirates.
Tristan's a psychopath.
Have you ever seen that character? I think I'm thinking of Michelle Lowe, but
yes.
All of those, Brit island Commonwealth vegans are all the same.
Yeah. No, and they all seem to be from Australia or the UK.
Yeah, right. Why is it? Yeah.
I don't understand it, Jay. I mean, a lot of the funding is there. I don't know what it is though. There's something about Australia that is specifically targeted with this, and it's funny because Australia, as far as like developed countries, that Australia was hit the hardest with lockdown restrictions as well.
Are they the most malleable, mind-controlled of the Commonwealth? Are they even Britain, it doesn't have as bad as Australia, right?
It seems like London, the UK, it seems like the Brits get hit pretty hard with everything. But now I'm noticing a pattern of Australia seeming to be like the tip of the spear, the lab rats. Obviously Australia was a penal colony, so you would have felt really at home. You would have felt really at home there, Jay Dyer.
Rated R, Tristan, here he comes.
Dude, no, penal, like it's like you penalize somebody. You're gonna penalize somebody. Like Jay Dyer, if you don't stop, I'll penalize you.
Here we go, dude. Seriously, if you're gonna get all talking like this, I'm gonna leave.
No, dude, no, you don't understand. It's like, look, if your wife is mad at you, and she doesn't have a reason to, you might have to put her in her place and penalize her. You get it? Forcibly penalize somebody. All right, Jay. It's a perfect soy face.
Soy face time.
Soy face, Jay. But yeah, man. Speaking of penal colonies, here we go. I gotta pull this up. Let me see. Hold on. Speaking of penal colonies, we've got bisexual pastor turned stripper blesses the world with her sacred sexuality through Onlyfans. Jay,
old church. That's my old church right there. That's where I used to go.
This is like every SoCal church.
Does that mean that like when I donate to OnlyFans, that counts as my tithe?
You'd be tithing.
My tithe.
Look at her. She's she's so empowered. Right? I mean, she went from oppressed Western woman, oppressed Western pastor woman, to being empowered. I don't know. I mean, it seems like you're making fun of her a little bit. Are you not happy for her? Oh, Jay's frozen.
No, I am happy for her. I was taking a moment of silence to meditate on her newfound sacredness. And sneeze.
This that's an illegal sneeze. I won't tell Bill Gates though. Don't worry. It's crazy. There's a slew of articles like this, right? This the New York Post. My sexuality is sacred.
I think these are on purpose. You know, you called that out too, where suddenly Bella Thorne like promotes Onlyfans and that other skanky rapper, whatever her name is. I gotta turn the air conditioner on. It's cold.
I think that Young Boomer was the skanky rapper's name. That like subpar rapper was named Young Boomer. Yep. So now we've got, if you have a failing YouTube channel, right? If you're not making enough money, if the YouTube views just aren't cutting it, if
it's that transitioning rapper, Little AIDS.
Little AIDS.
I think who I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, you mean? I mean, I've heard from a lot of people that he's the best rapper of all time, but someone's Young Coomer.
I mean, in the TRANS community, yeah, he is the best, easily.
Mm-hmm. Well, I am trans vegan. I am trans vegan. That is true. But we've got like, all right, so you got New York Post. You've got this one. Even this Japanese newspaper had one. We've got Fox 5 Washington D.C. was talking about this back in March too. But it seems like she makes the rounds. She's like a media personality now. I guess she was on Jimmy Kimmel. The Good Word, former stripper, pastor, and author of a book called Jesus, Friends of Strippers. I mean, this is kind of like peak worldview warfare here, right? I mean, there's so much going on here, right? The dehumanization of women, the hypersexualization of women, but also the loss of faith, right? This like ritualistic, oh look, it's so cool to lose your faith in God and become a hoe. Let's all be hoes. Be whores.
There's a woman who popped up on my stream. Her name is Veganica. You know her?
Veganica? No.
She's using you as an ad.
Using me as an ad?
Yes, you popped up right now in an ad from Veganica. And she says, will Tristan ever find his answer? Is God finally going to reveal the truth to Tristan? And this ad has a picture of you and her bitching about you and how lifting vegan logic is going to, I guess, annihilate me and you.
So wait, they put an ad on YouTube or on Instagram? Where is this?
No, it's an ad on YouTube that pops up in my feed.
Shoot, can you take a screenshot?
She paid to have this. She paid for this.
Dude, will you please screen share that? Can you do that? Is there a way?
Let me just send it to you on. Do you have your Skype?
Yeah, send me a screenshot or something. I got to get this pulled up. That's ridiculous.
Oh, here's the actual ad. You might want to hear it because it popped up to me as an ad. I'm not joking.
Okay, send it to me. Let's see if I can.
Okay, I sent it to your Skype.
It might just be the YouTube video that you sent, though. Let's see. All right, that's crazy. So you can actually target an ad on a specific video.
Apparently.
Well, Tristan, Primal Edge Health, ever find his answer? Will God reveal the truth to him? There you go. So this was an ad?
Yes, it popped up as an ad. I'm not kidding.
Veganica.
It had a little orange ad thing next to it.
1.3 thousand subscribers. I feel like if I click this, like a vampire is going to jump. And look at this chick, Veganica. She looks like Cher on meth. On more meth, excuse me. All right, let's do it.
Do you believe in life?
Lifting vegan.
Do you believe in life after meth?
Well, we can play meth or vegan with a lot of these. And I don't know if you guys have ever played meth or vegan. It's a great game. You take pictures of random methamphetamine addicts and random vegans, and you ask the general public, meth or vegan. They very often can't tell the difference, and I think there's a lot of overlap as well. But this is crazy. Oh wait, she uploaded as an ad my own video. Logic, what's up? You're so logical. Since we're watching your video, this might be we might watch one more after this. Probably not your video, but why don't you come on the channel for a debate, man? You're so logical. You're gonna. By the way, that's who's coming on today. The Lifting Vegan Logic guy. Logical you are, and come discuss vegan ethics and morality. Right? You're a small. Okay, so she just re-uploaded my video as an ad. She paid.
No, I thought doesn't if it keeps going, doesn't she comment?
Okay, no, so this must be.
Primal Edge Health has challenged Lifting Vegan Logic channel. I'm looking forward to seeing their debate tomorrow.
Dude, is this like, this is Spherage's soulmate? Do you hear this woman? Hi, everybody. This
hard of hearing these debate.
I am the female version of Spherage, everybody. I'm over at my aunt's house. My aunt, she is an artist. Her name is Marina Abramovich, and I am here making vegan soup with menstrual blood because it's still vegan. This this chick sounds like Dracula meets like Dracula's wife.
Tomorrow, necessary check lifting vegan logic channel. But let's first check whether it is true that a big guy made a gesture of goodwill towards a beginner, a minor channel. Here are the stats. Primal Edge Health has 129,000.
Here are stats. Primal Edge Health. He is C+. He gets a C+ on back end of website. Only C+ YouTuber. Primal Edge Health. Oh look, he lose subscriber. Oh, he lose so many subscriber with totally real algorithm on YouTube. Yes. Oh, but lifting vegan logic. Look, he also have C+. Oh, he have C+ as well.
So Tristan had lost 1,000. Lifting vegan logic has gained 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, he making gains and Tristan making losses because we know the number on YouTube are so
That's
real.
how we determine, right, truth and falsehood, who's gaining and who's losing subs, right?
Yes.
As if, you know, we know this isn't because of the subject matter, and because of Fortune 100 promoting this bullshit.
Yeah. No, it's not because we actually push back against the agenda that's being pushed on us. It's not because of that. It's just because we only get a C+. We're not as cool. We're not as good as lifting vegan logic. All right, well, thank you, Marina Abramovich Jr. Veganica. I think I'm done with that video.
Veganica Abramovich.
Veganica. Thanks for spending money to put the ad. Was that on my video, the ad?
It popped up in my feed.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Sweet. So, you know, well, we got at least one vegan, I guess, kind of supporting the stream, kind of supporting the channel, more than YouTube does at least.
The ads targeted at me today include hers and 3 different Joe Biden campaign ads. That's what's been targeted at me all day today.
Are you convinced to vote for good Uncle Joe? You going for it?
And only if he's vegan.
You riding with Biden? I'm riding with Biden. Biden's my boy. No, I'm just kidding. I will not be voting. Dang, all right, we're just getting BTFO'd here. These vegans, they're out for blood. They got a gang of them. They're making response videos, preemptive response videos to response videos to response videos. All right, well, that's beside the point. So yeah, I don't know. This OnlyFans thing, bisexual pastor turned stripper. It's funny. Like let's watch the clip that they put on Fox News of her. The Good Word with Tisha Lewis. Oh, this is a
Hi there, Good Word
podcast.
fam. We are coming to you remotely in light of the coronavirus pandemic, but of course we want to give you all some very good news.
Okay, I'm not going to listen to you. But apparently, she pastors New Wine Community Church in Stafford, Virginia. Oh no, this is a different one. I'm sorry, we got a different author. We've got bisexual pastor turned stripper blesses the world with her sacred sexuality through OnlyFans, and then you also got a book about Jesus, friend of the strippers, from a former stripper and now pastor. So we've got two sides of the coin. Former stripper, now female pastor, and then you've got a female pastor turned stripper. Yeah, I don't know. Jay, what do you think?
Who's your favorite?
Which one's hotter?
Who's hotter?
Which one's hotter, dude? Dude, which one's hotter, dude?
Which church are you gonna pick, bro? I know which one you're gonna choose.
Dude, you go for the stinky church.
We know which one Taylor Marshall would pick, whichever has best milkers.
Milkers. Speaking of milkers, man, I've been.
You know who Taylor Marshall is?
No. No, who's Taylor Marshall?
Taylor Marshall's the famous Catholic quote apologist who claimed to have had a vision of gigantic milkers that represent the church and the sacrament. So now he's a super trad Catholic on the basis of a mystical vision of milkers.
Wait, so giant boobs?
Yeah, you can't make this up.
Are you kidding me?
I'm dead serious.
He should start an OnlyFans. He's got a great imagination. He should start an animated OnlyFans for.
He probably has an OnlyFans, so we're just waiting until that comes out.
That's the only approved church in the future America is going to be the church of OnlyFans, hentai OnlyFans, vegan gains. Vegan gains will be a pastor there. Jeez. All right, this is great. You got another one. An unlikely duo: stripper and pastor join forces to help immigrants. There's all these stripper pastor stories.
I like how the combinations just get wilder and wilder. It's like, what's the next combo?
But the New York Post article is pretty funny. They got the picture of her.
This gives new rise to the meaning of the word missionary position.
They got the picture of her. I mean, I don't know what kind of church she was in, but I guess she came out of Southern California. To me, she seems to me like just standard Inland Empire, like porn trash. I don't know. Maybe she got involved with some mega church, an evangelical mega church. Yeah, surprise. You know, a made up mega church, a carnival church, like your Pastor
Randy Bowles.
Pastor
Randy Bowles.
They got a water slide at their church.
We got a water slide inside the sanctuary.
I was taught that women aren't allowed to lead and that women belong in the kitchen and with the children, said Mitchell, 36. So even though it went against everything I was told, I decided to become a pastor because of my love for performing. So that's why she decided to become a pastor. Her faith was so strong that she knew it was her destiny to perform for people. She wanted to be a performer. In 2011, Mitchell, along with her now ex-husband, joined the Woodlands Hills Church, an evangelist megachurch in St. Paul, Minnesota, which opened her eyes to the possibility of gender equality within the faith. So she got it so equal, she made it so gender equalified that she I don't know, the great gender equalizer, I guess, is showing your poonie.
Even she's got soy face.
She's got the soy face. That's when she was a pastor. And then there's her with her new gig. And it's her dream job, they say. So like they're telling you how amazing this is. It's so great. I started
all of the articles say it's their dream job, and that's just because of the narcissism that every human being is tempted with deep down, right? Mm-hmm. To be an object of worship. But she's going to find out the hard way that that's a very empty existence.
Yeah. It's funny because being a pastor and like the goofy evangelical group she was in was a taste of it. It was a taste of that kind of, stardom, that power over people, and the people looking at her in a certain way and looking at her like she's above them. And she found a way to do that just with her sexuality, to weaponize that, not just against others, but against herself, right? Because she's gonna be miserable. But she's as happy as she's ever been. The New York Post says she's happier than ever. A life coach helped her to do this. She's living her best life. And then the other one, this one says, after discovering she was bisexual, Nicole Mitchell left the church to live her best life. So at pinknews.com, live your best life, YOLO.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what a lot of the elite documents talk about, was the sexualization. In fact, somebody this week reminded me of the Wilhelm Reich book. He was part of that whole cultural Marxist / Frankfurt School crowd that said to basically sexualize everybody to the point of total degeneracy so that nobody could bond. And he said this would be the way to combat fascism, because in his mind, the real fascism was just having a father. Mm-hmm. The origins of fascism are in the family, the dad. That's the fascist. That's the most basic fascist image.
Patriarchy.
So how do you best get rid of the archetype of the fascist patriarchal image? Get rid of dads.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all this rebelliousness, right? Rebellion against the patriarchy. It's like this institutionalized rebellion that has kind of haunted history. So here's her.
All the way back to the Garden of Eden. Right?
Exactly.
And the destruction of the father is the destruction of God the Father. And in fact, some of the feminist activists and writers are actually really candid about that. They said that the whole purpose of feminism is not just a political movement. It's actually a spiritual, archetypal movement to bash and destroy God the Father.
Right. So it is Gnostic in certain ways.
No, the women that the Gnostic feminists have written about that explicitly identified as Gnostic. Yes.
It's funny. The Gnostic heresy, it seems to be a common thread in a lot of these.
Gnosticism wants to bring balance or to overturn patriarchy with the feminine. Right, so you've got this imbalance of the patriarchy that's above and somehow taken over through conspiracy of the millennia, you know, the feminine. So now you got to balance that out, or like turn the tables and have the feminine, you know, take over and basically destroy, dash the fash, bro.
Bashing the fash, smashing the fash. Yeah, so you've got that institution. And here's her Instagram. She's so empowered, you know, just nude after nude after nude after nude. Oh, here's her. Look at this, comforting a young immigrant man. So nice and generous with her time, comfort those immigrants. Yeah, no. The OnlyFans thing is just getting out of control. So it's all these YouTubers are making money on OnlyFans, or girls are paying for their college doing OnlyFans, or young men are doing gay for pay on OnlyFans.
Just ads, basically.
They're just ads. They're ads, and they tell you it's the dream job, not because it is this person's dream job. No. This is what they want you to aspire to, right? This is what the New York Post wants you to think is your dream job. Being a whore on the internet. Selling yourself out the most base and basic way you could do it, right? Just the easy route. Snap some pictures of your cooter, throw them online, collect the cash. This is your dream job, they tell you. You could pay for your college.
See that?
Wilhelm Reich, yeah. Now Reich was a student of Freud. Reich was he was the student of Freud. That book, the Mass Psychology of Fascism. It's interesting. There are some interesting. Have you looked through it? He does have some.
I was just hip to it. I've not read it.
Yeah, he has some. I would read through it. Maybe you should do it for your globalist book series.
That's what people were saying. Do it on the elite books. Yeah.
Because he got really weird. I mean, he got all into the alien stuff and was talking.
No, I know he talks about orgone.
Communicating with entities and contacting aliens using devices, and he was nuts.
All that little bundle of plastic trash known as orgone. That's from him.
Yeah. So he was Reich, Wilhelm Reich.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Orgone?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, back in 2008, 2009, Don Croft. Remember Don Croft on the conspiracy scene? Turned out to be like everyone. He turned out to be a massive fraudster. A lot of these people. He used to say that like it was all
buy plastic with encrusted shards of junk and garbage.
They'll protect you from the aliens. They're gonna protect you from the
bubble gum wrappers inside of a bunch of plastic, and it has a frequency it gives off that keeps the aliens away.
Speaking of frequencies that keep the aliens away, where's your super chats, bigots? Look at all you tight-lipped bigots in the chat right now, not supporting. We need your support. We get no support from YouTube, as you saw from Marina Abramovich's daughter Vaganica. We've been losing subs every single month for over a year. Vaginica. YouTube has unsubscribed. Has probably likely unsubscribed you if you were subscribed to this channel. Right? Some of the biggest supporters of the channel have told me they've been unsubscribed 3, 4, 5 times. And Tommy Kelly almost every week tells me, dude, I got unsubscribed from your channel yet again. So the totally real and organic view count we see here, we don't even know if it's real. But anyways, we got 240 bigots in the chat, only 54 likes. Where's your thumbs up? Where's the thumbs up? And you guys, if you want to support these, if you guys like these streams, support them. There's a link for the Streamlabs in there. That's the best way to support. We have one super chat, one supporter. Where'd it go? Gortej Rana. Let's see if we can... There we go.
You want to find out? Find out. Find out.
Come at me.
Come at me and you'll find out how strong I am eating a plant-based diet.
Come at
me. You'll find out.
Damn. Don't mess with Mark Passio. Do not mess with Mark Passio. Gertej Rana donated £5 through Super Chat. Says Super Chat still works. Yes, it does. It works for you. It doesn't work for anybody else here. A bunch of freaking tightwads in the chat. Thank you guys for the support. We do have some really good new notifications as well. So there's nice surprises, nice notification surprises. If you guys got subjects you want to hit on, or if you just want to tell Jay that I'm a better rapper than him, That's, you do it via the super chats. If you want to, I can't, what are you doing, Jay?
I'm messing up your flow, dog.
You messing the
Psyops.
flow, dog. Them soy-ops. Them soy-ops.
Soy-ops.
All right, Jay, we've got really serious business here. No more.
Hey, wait, are they coming in the second hour? When's our debate people?
Yeah. Let's see. He's gonna jump in. We'll see. He'll jump in the Zoom meeting. They're supposed to come in on the second hour. We started about 20 minutes late. I sent him the email. Let me see. Make sure that homeboy, he hasn't responded yet.
I'm just wondering when. I don't care.
We're looking like 20 minutes. I think like 20 minutes he'll be on. So yeah, we got guests coming on soon if they show up. He says he's bringing a friend as well. But,
have you covered vegan logic in the past?
Yeah, that's how this happened. We watched his video about how to spot a future ex-vegan, and it was kind of this preemptive cult interrogation of like, it was breaking down the psychology of former vegans on YouTube so that they can spot them before they come about, so that they can crush them, so that the animals, right? So
it's a Bush preemptive strike doctrine for vegans.
The terrorists could be your children. Your children could be a future ex-vegan. You have to watch they could be radicalized on the internet by the carnage, the terrorist carnage. So yeah, they're coming on.
Plant-based mustard gases.
There's plant-based. You say plant-based. All right, where'd that go? Here we go. This is
if you believe that you are being gaslighted, then speak out. Come and speak to someone. Make friends within the vegan community.
Make friends.
I love her voice. I love her voice so much. She has the best.
She reminds me of that character. Do you remember? Have you seen Lemony Snicket's?
No, but I know the image, like Jim Carrey's weird
D
face.
levels tested once before I supplemented, and I had the D levels of an institutionalized elder. Like these people who are like in nursing homes.
Excuse me.
Jim Carrey plays the Irish sailor character. Is really funny, and that woman is like the female version of that. Jim Carrey character.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't watched it. Sideshow Bob donates $5. Says, coming at you from my milk carton house. I don't even know my neighbor's name. All I know is that his wife cheated on him through hearing them scream through the walls. Dang, dude. Sideshow Bob. Thank you, man. Hang in there, Sideshow Bob. I appreciate the support, man. I'm glad you can enjoy this stream among the screams of your neighbor. Chase donates $5. Chase Haggard says, I manifested thousands of dollars on Onlyfans. This proves the universe provides. Checkmate theist. Thank you, Chase. Appreciate that, Chase. Y'all want more? Y'all want more streams? Keep them super chats coming. The best way to send the super chat is
D levels tested once
with a big
before I supplemented, and I had the D levels of an institutionalized elder. Like these people who are like in nursing homes.
We got The Art of Truth and Love donated $25. Says the fact. He's referencing the Young Virus track. This is me and Jay's first rap collaboration. The Young Virus track. We might have to play that later on. The fact. Appreciate that. That's The Art of Truth and Love donated $25. That's a big fat super chat. The fact is that you are the least bigoted person in the chat, and you've proved it. You proved it with that super chat. Jay Dyer is gone. He disappeared. He's Chase is.
No, I'm not.
Oh dang!
I can't breathe in here. There's too many books. It's too dusty. So I sneeze if I don't turn.
You got mold on your books still, man? I remember you said when you moved you had them in storage. Do you have mold on them?
I cleaned them off as best as possible.
Yeah,
probably.
It's hard to get mold off of books. Shoot, man. All right, so we got this. I wanted to play you this song, Jay. I haven't even heard it yet. I thought we should listen to this together because I just feel like this could help us to maybe understand the bigger problems in the world. We've got Youth Climate Anthem, Long Forgotten Road. This is from Extinction Rebellion. This is a new hot track from the Extinction Rebellion. I guess it's like a diss track against global warming and climate change. So let's see what it is.
Welcome to the
Oops. Come back.
To the world, every boy, every girl. world. This is your life, your big adventure, and your ticket is free. They send you to school, they're gonna teach you the rules. You'll find out things are not quite what they seem. Take it from me. The book we wrote is full of lies. They say right is wrong and wrong is right. So don't believe the black and white.
Yes, Greta.
Everything is shades of gray. We gotta learn from our mistakes. We got to
Wait. Whoa, what was that line? So don't believe they're black and white. Everything is shades of gray. They say right is right, right is wrong, and wrong is right.
So don't believe the black and white. 'Cause everything is shades of gray. We gotta learn from our mistakes. We got to pick up the pieces, put them back together. It's down to us if we wanna make it better and try to find our forgotten road. Pick up the pieces, put them back together. It's down to us if we wanna make it better. I'll see you on the forgotten road. Welcome to the plan. Every woman, every man, they tell you there's no price tag on your life. They'll have you believe that you have a voice. You think that you have a choice. Meanwhile, they'll sell our future for $1. Do it and a fee.
Dude,
But these bitches rough, dude.
Dude, what is this?
They got a serious case of man face. This is what you eat all this vegan stuff, dude. You're a chick, you're gonna have a man face, dog.
Dude, that was like the hair lip casting couch was providing this thing.
She's got a unibrow on her above her.
This
lip.
is it's the filter, dude, because this happened to like 3 of them in a row. Check it out. There's this one. It's the lighting and the filter. They need to. You guys are terrible with your edits. Come on, Extinction Rebellion. How many millions of dollars are you getting from these NGOs to sell your shit out? How many billions of dollars are getting pumped into your movement?
I got a unibrow above my lip right now.
Dude, I can't do any more of this. We got the Extinction Rebellion. They're making music now, though. That wasn't even funny cringe. That was just like ear pain cringe.
That was rough.
My soul hurts now. Yeah, so I guess they're pretty active. Look how many Extinction Rebellion, right?
Huge that have I can't see.
Huge international movement, right? This video came out yesterday. It has 1,400 views. Extinction Rebellion. This is like the official brand of the rebellion. You know, backed by Avaz, 350.org. These NGOs, I think the Tides Foundation give to them as well. Like all these huge corporations.
Those are all SOROS connected.
Right. So from everybody's favorite philanthropists, this is how cheap this PR is now with the internet, right? The influencers.
Yeah, and by the way, those were all involved in the situation in Syria. Those Avaz and those entities that you were talking about, Tides Foundation, they were all putting money into the creation of the propaganda in Syria.
Yeah, and some of the other color revolutions as well.
Yep.
And what is...
If you want to be the big man, the big daddy.
There we go. We got a big man, big daddy here, who says I think they're going to try to redeem that terrible video we just watched.
Slightly Crazy Vegan says in the chat that it has not heard any good points. So that apparently this person doesn't believe that the Fortune 100, the wealthiest people on the planet, funding their bullshit is not a good point. So if that's not a good point.
Still not heard any good points. I still haven't heard any good points. That's just a chick. It looks like a lady. Slightly crazy.
Doesn't even know what Tides Foundation is, doesn't know what Avaz is, doesn't know how they filmed all the propaganda in Syria to destroy the country, has no clue.
This person's probably assuming, we're not even talking about veganism. We aren't even talking about veganism, but she's probably assuming that we're just here to oppose her imaginary straw. Like these people are so delusional. They think they're on this crusade to save the animals. Like she's in the chat right now saving animals, Jay. I don't know if you realize this. The animals, they need her there. And she's doing the work for them. She's fighting the fight.
What you call Joey and all these characters, professional. They're on a, what'd you say, a lifetime vacation or?
Yeah, man, they're a lifetime vacation. They're permanent vacation slacktivists, right? They live a vacation lifestyle. What they do is harvest several $1,000s of money from their patrons every single month and do nothing. But it's for the animals, right? They take pictures of themselves going to the beach. Oh, check out
my private jet runs on pure green energy. Right? I'm taking a flight in a private jet, but don't worry, it's pure green flight energy.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. So we somebody else sent a super chat. We got another super chat here. The Art of Truth and Love donated $25. Sent this video. Let's see what this is. Didn't we already look at this? I don't believe in COVID song. Why is Tom Hanks in this?
I don't believe in COVID.
We saw this one.
Don't believe in COVID. No, I don't believe in COVID.
Truth music.
I'm gonna live forever. Yeah.
Some of these truther channels are just as cringy as the vegan channels. I'm sorry. Some of them are funny, but some of them are just as cringy.
Everybody is gonna die, but not me. I'm gonna stay alive. I'm gonna live until infinity because I do not let COVID bother me. You all have been watching way too much TV, and that.
Right. It reminds me of John Sakars. Remember, John Sakars? I think I like John Sakars. I think I like his.
That was pretty damn cringe.
Thank you for the super chat.
It reminds me of when Christians try to make, rap or whatever that's as edgy as normal rap.
What was the rap group in the 90s?
Toby Mac and DC Talk.
DC Talk, yes. My
what will people think when they hear that I'm a Jesus freak? What will people do when they find that it's true? Oh.
So John Sakars, here we go. Please wear a mask. Here's the new theme song for this channel.
Hey, I saw a video of a guy throwing a tantrum just because somebody asked for him to wear a mask.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's interesting about if you watched and been involved in this kind of stuff for a long time, then you know how movements get co-opted and steered, and they a lot of times will have an element of truth. And really, this whole vegan thing is just propelled by the fact that, there's problems in factory farming and big pharma and big corporations. But the vegans are too dumb to realize that it's not every local farm that's behind this stuff. It's the Fortune 100 who all own, like Tyson and all that stuff, the very thing that they're fighting against, that fund veganism. I mean, how dumb do you have to be?
Yeah.
Telling vegans that they've been brainwashed is actually just one of the gaslighting techniques
there you go.
I want to highlight.
That's how.
Have you ever had a breakthrough? I know that you have had a big role, obviously, Tristan, in bringing a lot of people out of veganism. But have you had anybody kind of where you've seen the breakthrough on that geopolitical level where they realize that it's the Fortune 100 that funds the bullshit?
You don't see that many. You see most people that are aware of what's going on globally, like globalization, globalism, this push for planetary dietary guidelines and stuff like that. People who know about these agendas, I don't think they get too sucked into veganism very often. But I have seen a lot of people. I've seen more people convinced by their health falling apart than by because it's an emotional thing for a lot of them. They understand that there's a difference between their neighbors who have chickens and who run a farm and who have some cows than this massive operation where they're
because I love soy.
These huge Cargill operations, these huge feedlot grain-fed operations that got essentially bankrolled and kickstarted through funding from the Rockefeller Foundation, right? The Green Revolution and the Gene Revolution, the whole GMO revolution. We wouldn't have had that. Shut up, Michelle Lowe. Shut your mouth, woman.
Of the gaslighting techniques I want to highlight.
So that's, you were Technically, we are gaslighting right now. Anybody who's saying that vegans are brainwashed, that is gaslighting, according to psychologist, mental health professional Michelle Lowe. But yeah, I think people are more swayed by emotional arguments, unfortunately, and that's where the vegans are coming from. All right,
that's what Bertrand Russell said a long time ago. He said, if you want to convince everybody of the New World Order and all this stuff, he says, don't use reason and logic. Use big bands and a bunch of bluster and smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, I mean, Ed Bernays as well. Right? I mean, it's about feeling. Right? So it's, you wear the mask for solidarity. Don't be a mask hole. Right? You're protecting.
Don't you have empathy for the animals?
Yeah, exactly. Because you're a psychopath if you eat meat. So then people, they stop eating meat. They say, okay, I feel bad. I feel guilty. They have this inherent guilt, this inherent shame. That they're fallen beings. Most of them reject God outright. They reject that there's real morals.
I was just watching I watched the whole Hannibal Lecter series, and it's making me think of how they portray everybody as Hannibal Lecter. Like, that's in their mind. Like, everybody is this complete psychopath of Hannibal Lecter. Tristan, have you had your fava beans today? They're quite delectable, aren't they? I was working on my Hannibal Lecter impersonation for the serial killer stream, and then I was realizing how dumb it is to compare people that eat meat to Hannibal Lecter. But their whole argument, somebody in the chat just asked about, how do you respond to name the trait? Because there is a trait that distinguishes humans from animals. It's called reasoning. It's called a soul. And that's on the basis of a worldview and a paradigm, which that's the whole reason that we couldn't have a debate with Ask Yourself, was that he insisted that we cannot debate at the paradigm presuppositional level, because he knows that if we go to that, he won't be able to answer the dilemma. As long as you accept his premises, he will lead you to accepting the trait, or the fact that there's no trait that distinguishes humans from animals, by which you cannot eat humans.
Yeah, I mean, it's exhausting even talking to these vegans. They're an emotional wreck anyways, and it's always an emotional argument. So we got The Art of Truth and Love donated another $25. The Art of Truth and Love, thank you, appreciate that. She says, love your show, Tristan. Jessica's not even in the room. She's over there with the children, reading them to sleep. Says this one is for Jay though, so she likes Jay. She or he?
Of course she does, Tristan.
Of course.
Tristan, tell me, how are your children doing tonight? I hope that they find themselves sleeping and delectable there in your little mud hut.
If you go back and watch those, it's funny because that's all he does is he does this thing where he tries to taunt everybody that he talks to. And he talks about your relatives and your family. And he's like,
well, yeah, I hope the children are sleeping well tonight, Tristan.
But I will say this, that he does play off a really good psycho. Like, you look at Hannibal Lecter, Anthony Hopkins' eyes, and he just looks completely wacko. He looks completely insane.
Yeah. Yeah, Hopkins is great at that. I mean, Willem Dafoe also plays a real good psychopath.
Yes, he does.
Why do all these vegans end up looking like Steve Buscemi and Willem Dafoe though? What the fuck's up with this? That's like the look, man. Willem Dafoe, Steve Buscemi, not Hopkins though. Hopkins looks too well fed.
You want to find out? Find out. Find out.
You know what's ironic?
Come at me and you'll find out how strong I am eating a plant-based diet. Okay?
If you think about,
you'll find out.
Opazio there, who acts more psychotic? Who acts more like Hannibal Lecter?
Me. I'm Hannibal Lecter. I eat meat and stuff.
No, I'm saying.
Just kidding. I'm saying.
Opazio acts psychotic, right? I thought that eating greens would make us herbivore, peaceful, at one with nature, and all this kind of bullshit.
No, I thought natural law, like believing his true beliefs of theology, right? His basically Freemasonic theology of natural law.
It's totally Freemasonic.
Yeah, he's openly Freemasonic. I mean, you can see because he's got his Freemason his cute little gang sign up there in the corner of his stream now.
Great work.
Yeah, the great work. We got to do the great work, and if you're not doing the great work right, you did it wrong. So even the Freemasons act like the vegans sometimes. You did Freemasonry wrong. Gertej donated $7.50. Says I'm 24.
Oh, okay. I think I know. We got another one of these vegan tards who's coming to be his atheist backup. Looks like it might be Detroyer, who is Ask Yourselves underling. So he's going to, we already know what he's going to come with. He can't grasp what a transcendental argument is. He thinks that it assumes what it's trying to prove.
Here's the funny thing with these vegans. You don't even have to go there. They just hang themselves with their own noose. I'm always interested. I'm interested in hearing vegans' perspectives. Why should we be vegan? What is your argument for us? Well, why should we? Listen to your argument. Why should we go vegan? Convince me. Gertej donates $7.50. He says, "I'm 20." Here, actually, let me read that looks like a really good question. That I'm gonna read the other ones first because there's not big questions in the other ones, and then we'll get to Gertej.
Yeah, this is the guy who says ad hoc is not a fallacy. This is the genius in the chat. That's probably who he's bringing, which will be funny. Yeah. So he's still butthurt about losing the debate, not knowing that you can't make ad hoc arguments.
So I don't know these people that you have history with debating. I can't keep up with all this stuff. You have a lot of you got a lot of ankle biters who like to nip at your heels there. DB donated $5. Says late to the party. Was busy destroying Greta Thunberg's dreams and childhood. DB, thank you. That $5 that's going to go directly towards the destruction of Greta's childhood fund, which we are quickly filling up here with this stream. The Art of Truth and Love. Thank you again for the several super chats. Appreciate that. And it's cool that you like Jay, but I mean, look, he's all right. I mean, I don't know. Can you hear me, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, again, I'm bigger and stronger than you, so I won't worry too much.
Hench just said it for me. I'm bigger and stronger than Jay, so don't even worry about it. And Hench is too. And Hench could beat up Jay.
I'm bigger than you, and I'm stronger than you.
I actually like the one that just was pretty. Well, I'm bigger and stronger than you, so I wouldn't worry much. You're bigger and stronger. Thank you, appreciate that. We got Slightly Crazy Vegan. That was the one we mentioned earlier. Slightly Crazy Vegan says, "I'm offended. You don't know who I am." The name sounds familiar, but I don't know. We'll find out. Slightly Crazy Vegan. I'm sorry.
So the guy, if you wouldn't mind me explaining really quick, it's the guy who is an underling, one of the minions of Ask Yourself, who thought he would come prepared and prepped, ready to debate. I was driving in my car, and he changed his position from saying that he didn't think transcendental arguments could do what they're trying to do. Then he later admitted that, okay, fine, you can boil down other people's worldviews to basic starting principles. So he changed his position there. And then he said, ad hoc is not a fallacy. So he actually thinks you can be ad hoc in a debate, and it's not fallacious. So you can just say that it is. So just next time you're in a debate, just say, my position is, it just is the case, and that's not fallacious.
There you go. There you go. Perfect.
And that's probably who your buddy here is going to bring with him.
Well, I mean, we'll see. If they get too spurgy, it doesn't have. We're having fun. We're going to have a fun stream regardless. I think they're coming on soon, though. Where are they at? Let's see.
It is a fallacy. So the people in the chat, his retard buddies also still can't figure this out.
That's ableist.
By the way, if that's not a fallacy, are all the other informal fallacies not fallacy either? So I can say that your argument is bad because you're dumb, right? Well, that's ad hominem, and that is an informal fallacy. And so just because something's informal doesn't mean that you can do it in a debate, right? It's not like debates are only characterized by formal fallacies, as if all the other informal fallacies, those are okay. You can bring those to a debate, they're fine. It's really stupid, like basic level mistakes.
It's funny. Well, they also like to make the mistake of if you say something like, so if they say the etiquette has broken down in the so-called debate, and you say something like, "You don't understand the argument, you freaking idiot." That's not your argument. You're just saying you're a freaking idiot. That's not your actual argument. No, that's not an ad hominem. An ad hominem is when you try to use a personal attack as your argument for why you're right and the other person is wrong. An ad hominem is not saying, hey, you act like a spurg who has zero social awareness, right?
Yeah, it would be like me saying, Tristan, your position is wrong because you're dumb.
Yeah, right.
That's an ad hominem argument.
If I say, Jay, your position is wrong because blank, 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 and you are a stupid moron. The argument isn't necessarily you are a stupid moron, right? That's just maybe tacked on at the end. So yeah, this is the fallacies that often get made in some of these debates. The fact. All right, I want to hear more about not about wearing a mask from John Sikars.
Yeah, I saw a video of a guy throwing a tantrum just because somebody asked for him to wear a mask. Wear a fucking mask. Wear a fucking mask.
Okay. John's been working hard. Some of his songs get a little catchy. Some of them are pure cringe. Yeah, so it's been let's see. Oh no, Dr. Greger there. Let's see, I don't need that window anymore. All right, I think our guests should be coming on soon. I don't know if you guys are watching up in the chat.
Nice. This is gonna be fun.
We need some guests. Where you? What's is it? Daniel's his name. His name is Daniel. Lifting Vegan Logic coming on. I think he has a guest or a friend. We'll see who his friend is. But most people would be welcome. If he tries to bring Ask Yourself, maybe I might not. I might just kick Ask Yourself.
If it's going to be the guy who says that informal fallacies are not are valid in debate.
Watch him show up with somebody that you've already debated, or not even better. Watch him show up with somebody that's obsessively trying to get a debate with you since the first debate. I don't think he'll do that. I think he's more straightforward than that. We'll see. We will see. Let's come check out what's going on in the chat. How's the McMansion doing, Jay? The Boomer McMansion. You guys add any new wings to the mansion?
Hot wings? Oh, like a wing to the
Yeah.
No. Well, yes and no. I have a basement where we do the filming for my OnlyFans accounts. So,
Right.
Yeah.
What's the?
We had to add some studios for my OnlyFans.
Yeah. What's the name again?
Of what?
Your OnlyFans account.
Vegan Booty 2.
Did you drop? I thought you had a Third Eye Wide Open. I thought that was it.
Third Eye Blind.
Third Eye Blind. Anyways, I'm here with former Third Eye Blind frontman Jay Dyer. Jay, can you want to sing one of those Third Eye Blind tracks? One of your favorites? If you want to come in, baby, just go ahead. I don't even think that's Third Eye Blind. What did Third Eye Blind sing?
That's Little Miss Can't Be Wrong. The what's that, man?
The chat caught cancer. The chat done caught cancer tonight, Jay Dyer. I come over here to the chat, and it has got all sorts of tumorous lesions growing on it. This is wow. Right. So we'll see if these vegans actually show up. What do you think about the aftermath of the debate, Jay? The debate stream last night. Any thoughts on the presidential debate that we witnessed last night?
It reminded me of some of my debates where it was just kind of barking and yapping back and forth, no real consistent staying on a topic. It was all just kind of like back and forth.
Standard internet debate.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded literally like the debate I had with Ibarra or something like that, where it was like just kind of back and forth. And
KB.
I mean, it was almost a blood sport. You know what I mean? It wasn't a formal debate. It was more like blood sports, which is fun.
I think most people kind of expected that. All right, here we go. We got a guest in the waiting room. Let's pop this guest out.
Uh-oh. It's just about to get real.
It's about to get real. We're about to get smashed, man. We're going to get pwned again. We're about to get pwned. There we go.
You hear me?
Mr. Logic. Mr. Vegan Logic.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
I'm not having any difficulty. Again, I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you.
You know, some of the timing for my audience is just so perfect. Good, man. Good. I think Hench kind of said it all.
Yeah, Pretty big dude.
He's doing. I know he's doing good, better than us for sure. So what's up, Holmes?
Not much, man. Just chilling. I think my partner will be here in next couple minutes, so
Cool.
we could just talk.
Cool, man. So you Lifting Vegan Logic. You got a YouTube channel called Lifting Vegan Logic, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
How long you've been vegan?
I've been. It was around 5 years in June, so about 5 years and 5 months, something like that.
Nice. Whole time vegan?
Yeah, I've been deficient in everything for about 5 years. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
How did you lose your V card?
What do you mean?
How'd you become vegan?
I became aware of the arguments for veganism, and I didn't really find myself in a position where I could justify not being vegan, and the dissonance kind of grew to the point where I eventually switched over.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What was
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah. What was the most convincing? I mean, you mentioned like the what'd you say, the arguments about it or the logic? What was it?
Yeah, like I couldn't find myself able to justify what is put into demand when you support animal agriculture and purchase animal products. So, like I said, that put me in a state of dissonance. And I initially was plant-based for health reasons a year leading up to me becoming a vegan, but yeah, of course, there's like a big distinction there between plant-based and vegan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't, like, I'm very big on like logic, of course, as my channel name says or implies. And
that's not your last name? It's not your real last name?
No, I wish so. It'd be cool. Mm-hmm.
So it was the logic. The logic was what convinced you. I'm gonna see if I can switch over to gallery view and hide self view. There we go. So I can have you guys both up at the same time. There we go. So it was the logic that convinced you. It was the arguments. Was there a specific vegan that convinced you? Was Gary Yourofsky or something?
Then speak out.
My brother was convinced by Gary, and then my brother put the arguments to me, and then I found myself in that situation, and then over time I switched. But I guess I would say I'm a little different from other vegans when I say, like, I'm not like a crazy animal lover. Not that you're crazy if you're an animal lover, but I'm just not big on animals. I just more so have an issue with seeing them harmed. So like a lot of vegans, when a dog walks by, they have like a stroke, oh my God, like a dog. I'm not really like that. I'm more of like, it's more of the logical part that made me switch. And that's not to say that when I watched Earthlings, I didn't feel anything. Obviously I did, it was terrible. But I would say that the logical part as opposed to the emotional arguments is what convinced me.
Nice. So that's cool. I'd love to get, what was like the most, was there a specific convincing argument? You mentioned the logic. What types of logical arguments made it to where you were interested in this?
Yeah, I guess my brother just, because I didn't know about like Name the Trait. I'm sure you guys are both familiar with Name the Trait.
We could talk about that. I'm not that familiar with it. I've heard the term several times, but we could talk about that if you want.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, this is going to be a debate, I'm assuming, right? Because I think you told me in the voice message that we could talk about like whatever.
Yeah, we can talk about whatever you want, man. Whatever you want to, whatever you want to debate, whatever you want to bring up, it's all open.
Yeah.
I like logic too, so I'm looking forward to this. And I noticed in your video you mentioned things like presuppositionalism, and you kind of attempted to give a response to presuppositionalism.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm assuming we're going to get into that in this debate, so I guess we could just save that for when, like, a partner's here. But
sure.
Yeah, no, because I've seen your debates, Jay. I saw the debate between when you guys debated like with Vegan Gains and stuff. So I don't know if your positions have changed.
Vegan Gains and who?
Isaac.
Oh, ask yourself.
Ask yourself, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The fact.
So,
the fact.
Do you mind me asking? Do you have like a theistic view? Are you an atheist, or do you mind me?
I'm agnostic. Yeah, I don't really have evidence that there is. Like, I used to be atheist until I realized that I had, like, atheist in the sense of I don't believe there's a God, but that was when I was like 14, 15. And then I came in touch with some arguments I got more into philosophy and realized how uncertain knowledge really is and how unfalsifiable I think the existence of anything that's beyond our our sense perception of these things are. And so I can't really disprove the existence of God or any saying that you can say anything, like an invisible person in my room right now. Like I can't, there's no way I would know if there was or wasn't, because it's beyond me.
Okay. Do you mind me asking do you have philosophical training like at a school, or is it just kind of personal research?
More personal research. I got my bachelor's in human communications, which is completely irrelevant to philosophy, but I took like one course. But similar to a lot of the topics I'm interested in, the majority of my education on these things have been outside of school. I think, this is just my opinion, I think it's the way that school, at least the school I went to, goes about educating. I just don't really like it. So I just go into topics at my own leisure and just discover things.
You're in the U.S., right? In the States?
Yeah, Orlando, Florida at the moment. Let me see what's up with my partner. Cool. I think you're in Ecuador, right?
Yeah, I'm in Ecuador. Jay is in just like this huge mansion. I forget where. Massive mansion. No, I'm just kidding.
It's an underground base built out of animal pelts.
Oh, is it? I'm triggered. I think he's in the waiting room, the partner.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. You got video. What's your partner's name?
What is it?
Oh, sorry about that. How you guys doing?
Here we go.
Oh.
Here we go.
It's Ask Yourself.
Shocker.
What a surprise.
I told you it would be him.
What a surprise, dude. What a surprise you do some gay outside
So
of this.
he's going to tell us that we can't debate anything at the meta level. That's his stricture. That's why he won't do a debate.
Should we? Why are you even here?
I think your voice is...
Oh, yeah, no, he's muted. He can't speak.
Oh, sorry, my mic wasn't coming through. Can you guys...
No, you were muted. You're muted, Isaac. Remember last time?
Yeah. Hey, obsessive soy man, we don't want to talk to you.
You're not invited here, man. You're not invited, Isaac. Sorry, buddy. Here, we'll kick him.
Sorry, hello? Can you guys hear me okay there?
Yeah, we can, but now you're muted. Now you're muted again. Hey, Isaac, can you nod if you can hear me? Nod if you can hear me? Isaac? Nod again, please.
Just nod if you...
Shake your head if you can't. Shake your head if you can hear me.
He's just muting you.
Shake your head if you can hear me. Isaac, say the fact. Isaac? Isaac?
The fact.
Excuse me, Isaac.
The fact.
Excuse me, Isaac. Isaac, chew the riddle. It's better if you chew the riddle and it releases quicker. It's a fast release if you chew it.
He doesn't know where he is.
Chew the pills.
He's like lost in another dimension.
Isaac, you chew the riddle in.
What am I looking for? What am I doing?
Sorry. Can you guys hear me okay now?
Yeah, but now you're muted again. Can you hear me?
Wait, are you guys just fucking around? I thought.
Can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me? Isaac, can you hear me?
Isaac, you're not welcome to a problem.
Okay, wait, guys.
Isaac.
I was invited.
Oh, no. Isaac, in no way were you invited.
You hid your identity.
In no way were you invited, and you knew you weren't invited, Isaac.
No, I don't think you knew that.
What's going on, Lifting? What the fuck is this? I was expecting a proper debate here.
You're not worthy of a proper debate, Isaac.
Sorry, Lifting.
Isaac,
hey, I hear you.
Muted. Why don't you clear this up? Because I don't want to fight for a mute button. I thought we were having a proper discussion here.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so Tristan, you told me that I could bring whoever I want. I have it on voice message. So.
Oh no, but I didn't mean Isaac. I meant like a person, like a legitimate person to debate with.
Isaac is a robot.
Like a legitimate person to debate with. You could bring. Hold on,
you invited me to a debate.
Hold on, let me mute you for a second too. All right, so I invited you on my channel. I invited you on my channel, Mr. Lifting Logic Vegan. Right? I didn't invite Isaac, but you know what? This is great. Hold on, I have to fix your video. You guys are half of Isaac's face is cut off. We need to get his reaction. Hold on. Let me fix this. Let me just... Jay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got Isaac muted. Okay, so what a surprise. What a surprise. We've got Ask Yourself. Former debate partner of Vegan Gains. Ask Yourself, Isaac. He looks a little disturbed. Isaac, you okay over there? Isaac?
Look, I'm just going to sit around until you kick.
You okay?
Yeah.
If you actually want to debate, I'm here.
We're not going to interact with you.
Yeah, you can leave.
You're mentally ill. You are obsessed with me. It's
You
weird,
can leave.
dude. Go away.
I got invited to a debate. I'm just here to debate. If
You
guys
know,
want to defend your views.
you're obsessed with me. That's the only reason I'm here.
All right, he's out. Now, Ishay, you could stay, but if you want to bring another debate partner, that's fine. But he's actually like one of the only debate partners that we won't accept, okay? So, yeah, you're still muted too. I'll unmute you for a second. Now you're not muted. Okay. Okay, so they of course, as we suspected, the vegans have come with classic vegan form and brought Ask Yourself to the debate. So they've brought an empty bottle of Ritalin to the gunfight, and you guys can see Ask Yourself's credentials on the back of an empty bottle of Ritalin, and so thank you, Ask Yourself. You're gone. And now, let's see. What's his face? Daniel? All right. I'll unmute you. Oh, you got yourself muted.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, to be clear, you know, like I said, you said anybody. Obviously, Isaac is, when you say anybody, you mean anybody, right?
No, like a person, not a internet.
Yeah, I get it. A robot joke, I get it. So anyway, so the thing is that we've been strategizing. I mean, like our plan is contingent upon two people.
Oh,
obviously,
no, your strategy doesn't work. Your strategy doesn't work. Oh,
hold
man.
on.
Do you want us to? You want us to lob you a nice softball?
So it's a 1v2, and obviously that's very fair. So this is the deal. I mean, you
can invite anybody on that's a real person other than Isaac. Isaac.
Well, I'll tell you what. I will let y'all two debate. How's that? You want me to step out?
Yeah, you can stay on. You can stay on, and Jay can leave. That's fine.
Can we do the debate that we planned?
What's the debate that we planned?
Because I've already interacted with this guy, and I have policy that I don't interact with that guy because he has problems.
All right, so guys, people watching in the audience, stay tuned for a Primal Edge Health denies the debate that he offered parody.
Oh yeah, we're gonna love watching your parody, bro.
Debate or defend your position. By the way, I'll debate people 4-on-1. I'll debate 5 people on 1.
Yeah, dude, we can debate. You could stay and debate, but Isaac is not welcome to debate. That's the only thing. He's not welcome on this channel. So you're muted. I don't know if you.
Yeah, no. So again, it's just as simple as what I said. If we're not going to debate, then there's no.
I don't have to agree.
You said you wanted to debate, and you come on here with Ask Yourself.
I can decide who
I.
The fact.
I brought someone who qualifies as anybody.
I didn't agree to that.
I'm talking to Tristan.
I told Tristan I'm not going to talk to Isaac.
Okay, he didn't tell me that, so I had no way of knowing.
Why would we think that you're going to bring?
It's not Tristan's fault.
We didn't think you were going to bring King Spurg. We didn't think you were going to bring King Spurg. I'd never seen you do a video with Isaac. I never really watched your videos except for the ones we watched on stream anyways. But yeah, no, we don't need to have Isaac on again. You guys can refer to our previous debate with Isaac, Ask Yourself, and if you want to know how that played out. But
so the reason you won't debate is because you don't like Isaac? That's the reason?
The reason I won't debate Isaac is because Isaac will not debate anything that's not meta level. So it has to be at a principle that he accepts, and he refuses to do a meta level debate. That was the stricture on the debate with me and him and Vegan Gains, and I didn't agree to that. So I'm not going to agree.
Did you not see him malfunction? Did you not see him already malfunction? That debate's happened. Why would we repeat it?
So you if he said that he would debate meta, would you?
Huh?
Okay, I have somebody else. Here, one second. Okay.
Now it'll be declared.
Dude, why are you guys so predictable, dude?
I called this. Bring the guys on that are obsessed because of previous debates.
Isn't it funny that I called this? How many days ago did we call this, Jay? That he's going to bring on Isaac.
Well, again,
this is how predictable you guys are.
I won't worry too much.
I know you think you're real. I know you think you're real clever. I know you guys think you're real clever. You think you're real cheeky. But we called with exactly what you're going to do, dude. We knew exactly what you were going to do.
That'd be a good one.
Vegan Gains can come on. He can come. But Isaac's not coming.
It's okay, we got someone else coming.
Cool.
There won't be a destroyer, don't worry. I know he had you in a corner, Jay, so we don't want to do that.
Yeah, you must not have heard that ad hoc is a fallacy when it's an ad hoc rescue. Did you not know that?
No, I think he said that it wasn't a logical fallacy, not that it wasn't a fallacy. So I think that's a straw man.
You think there's fallacies that aren't logical fallacies?
I mean,
that doesn't even make sense. There's no such thing as a fallacy that's not part of it. Informal fallacies are logical fallacies.
No, Jay, if I half mumble it under my breath, it makes me feel like I'm kind of smart, Jay. Jay, hey, if I just mumble it, it's like, it's really cool. Yeah.
I'm so much better now, and I'm so much bigger and stronger.
Hench Herbivore. Bring Hench Herbivore. At least he's fun. At least he's actually funny. I mean,
so before he comes, I think he's coming on soon, but
okay, I'm gonna read some super chats. Here we go. Let's read some super chats.
Let me ask this guy. You think an informal fallacy is not a logical fallacy? That's what you're saying.
He's muted. He can unmute himself. Go ahead.
To my knowledge, yeah, that's what I'm under the impression.
That's dumb. You realize that's a basic philosophical mistake. Like if you'd had one philosophy class, you would learn that.
Hold on, he's got to consult.
Where did you come up with this idiotic idea?
Ask yourself.
I just found it online as though.
Where?
And I looked up.
So you're a Google, YouTube.
No.
You don't know anything. So you're laughing and giggling because you have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm laughing because you won't let me speak. I found it. What's it called? I forgot what the.
You really think this is how philosophy is? I found it online.
This is your debate, dude. This is your tactic. This is your tactic.
You find studies. Let me finish. You find studies.
Dude, I can
online
find anything online. It has.
I agree. Let me. Okay.
Yeah. Go take a logic class. Maybe that's a good way to go.
This is your tactic. What do you even want to debate, dude? What are you even here to debate, guys?
When you get people on who have no idea what they're talking about, this is what they have to do.
All right, hold on. We need a little break here. Let me play. No, we'll read some super chats. We got some super chats. Vegan phobic chat coming over here. Vegan phobic chat swinging that big super chat hammer all around. Sends 99 through super chat.
Tristan, would you like me to step out and you could debate this guy? Because I won't have any patience with this. This guy has no knowledge of what he's talking about.
I'd rather we just finish.
It's already evident he doesn't even know that informal fallacies are still logical fallacies. That's like a retard level blunder. That's like 101. And this guy's looking around his room because he doesn't know what to say.
All right, hold on.
He found it online. I found it online.
Jay, just wait up. Don't let the games bother you. Let's see if they actually want to have. Let's see if they actually want to have a debate. Let me read some super chats first. He can get his partner. Let's give him. I'm gonna have a little bit of patience with it. Look, we knew what was gonna happen. We knew what was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen. It's all good. Let me read some super chats. Hot for Health donated $5 through super chat. Thank you, Hot for Health. Vegan phobic chat $99.99. Big fat winner super chat. Least bigoted person tonight says, "Are my backyard chickens justified animal harm?" Damn it, Dr. Greger.
Right, and you just
damn it, Dr. Greger.
All day.
Right. Yes, we do imagine that. Are my backyard chickens justified animal harm? Here we go. We'll ask Daniel. Daniel, would you mind answering this question from Vegan Phobic? He's a vegan phobe. This question.
Are the backyard hens? I mean.
Listen.
I'd rather entertain. Listen.
Hold on. Listen. Are my backyard chickens justified animal harm if used to feed my genetically selected pet Czechoslovakian wolf dog and genetically selected pet house cat? You're muted. You can unmute yourself if you want to talk.
Okay, so I have a video on that on my channel. You can check it out. But I'm just saying here, like, again, so the partner can actually make it. So I'm just going to go back to the original thing. If you won't have Isaac come on because for whatever reason, then I guess.
Dude, if you have an argument, you can come and debate, man. Like, if you have a good argument.
No, listen, we had a unified plan.
Yeah, we know. You and Isaac had a plan, dude. We know. We understand.
I would advise you to leave. Because you're going to embarrass yourself.
Your plan, you and Isaac's plan is done.
Because you're not going to go anywhere.
So you offered for the debates, and then
you won't last 5 minutes. You're already
done. Somebody came that you
don't even know. You don't know that they're still informal fallacies or what.
Yeah. So
hey, lifting vegan logic. Hold on.
So you threw this bullshit comment at me, and it just made you look dumb.
So, anyways, lifting vegan logic. I don't know what your argument is. Do you have an argument to bring? Jay can leave, and you can debate me, dude. I invited you on my stream, and this is what you do.
Listen,
you didn't ruin the stream because this is golden. Listen. You didn't ruin the stream because it's still hilarious. The fact that we called this like 5 days ago is even funnier to me. But I don't know. Do you want to actually debate? I think Jay's out of patience.
I think he's getting verklempt. He's starting to get a little. He sounds like he's about to cry. So maybe I should leave and then he can calm down.
You got to unmute yourself. I don't. If he wants to
so
debate,
you guys are refusing to have the debate, and that's it. So it's either yes or no.
I just told you you can stay in debate, guy.
Okay.
Do you not understand? You speak English.
No point in being here. So
you guys. Wait. So the question is, do you want to stay in debate? You can stay in debate if you want to debate, Mr. Logic.
I got my D levels tested once.
We can test your D levels. Hold on, Dr. Gregor's talking. Hold on. You're muted.
People who are like in nursing homes.
Hold on. All right. Do you want to debate?
Yeah, with the original plan.
What do you mean the plan? I didn't plan to debate Isaac. I've debated Isaac.
The 2v2 was the plan.
I told
there was no
Tristan
stipulation
that I'm not interacting with Isaac. It's not Tristan's fault. So
I get it.
Do you want me to leave? I'll be glad to leave.
Just debate, dude.
Leave. We can't do the 2v2 that was planned.
Dude, I thought you're listening. Hey, here's what I have to say. Shut up, Dr. Gregor. People are loving this. People are sending super chats. They're liking it still. So we can keep going. Either you leave or Jay leaves. I'd rather you leave at this point, fuckboy, because of the way you fucked around this whole time, right? We called 5 days ahead of time exactly what you were going to do. We knew you were going to do this. So here you are. You got Isaac. Isaac's not coming on. You can debate me. You can stay and debate me. I invited you on my stream. You can destroy me with your logic. You have the most logical arguments. You were turned vegan because of logic, but then later on you watched Earthlings, but you didn't not feel anything because you kind of felt something, but the logic really made you do it, but you had some feelings too because you're not a cold psychopath. Do you want to stay in debate, or do you want to run off with your tail between your legs? Will you stay in debate?
So you know the answer. So there's no, do I have to repeat it? It's like,
will you stay in debate?
I'll do the debate that we agreed to.
I didn't agree to debate Isaac. I agreed to debate you, buddy. You want to repeat it again? This is ending up like one of your videos. We've watched like 3 of them now. Your videos could be 4 minutes, yet you do the same bit like 5 times. The same bit that's not even funny. All right, so I don't know. I appreciate that you got a nice little fade going on there. Maybe the chicks at the club will like that. I guess you could just take off if you don't want to. You can go.
So you guys forfeit the debate. It's cool.
Man. No, nobody forfeits a debate. You're leaving the debate. So you're leaving. You can either stay and debate, or you can go. All right. What's your choice? Oh, I'm sorry, Jay. You're muted. Unmute yourself.
If you've got the goods, why do you even care if it's 2-on-1?
If you have a good argument, what does it matter, dude? Stay in debate. You want to speak sign language? I know a little ASL.
Eat only the fava beans. Don't eat the meat.
It puts the purell on its hands, or else it gets the whip again. It puts the mask upon its face, or else it gets put in its place. Yeah. So you're gonna come and debate, or what? Do you want to debate?
I'll just repeat myself.
You
can do the debate.
He's not going to debate.
Otherwise,
no.
So,
okay. So you just stay muted, and we'll just watch your face while me and Jay talk, and we'll continue our stream. So we can talk about. Oh, there you go. So the great vegan debate, guys. The great vegan debate. What do you know, Jay? What do you know? I'm glad at least we had a fun presidential stream.
I hope somebody clips him saying that that informal fallacies aren't logical fallacies. That was one of the epic retard comments of all time. I hope that gets clipped. Because, I mean, this shows you the stupidity of these people. They literally think that something that's an informal fallacy doesn't relate to logic because of the word informal. I mean, this is how stupid these people are. It's amazing.
I'm at a loss for words. We called out the tactic a week ago. And I didn't want to call him out beforehand because I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. But all these they hang together in these little demon nest Discord servers, and they're like a hive of cockroaches.
Yeah,
right?
So that's the reason why I'm not going to interact with Isaac. So everybody in the audience, is not Tristan's fault. I told Tristan when he was setting this up that I'm not going to have anything to do with Isaac. It has nothing to do with. I've already had multiple interactions with Isaac. I've given him the benefit of the doubt multiple times. And you can't have a conversation with Isaac. It's just a waste of time. And so now, because we laugh about it, he's obsessed with me. And all he does is come after me and send his minions. And it's just a waste of my time.
How many times have they raided your Discord server trying to get another rematch with you?
D-levels tested once before I supplemented. And I had the D-levels of an institutionalized elder. Like these people who are like in nursing homes.
All right, so we had lifting vegan logic, everybody. He's got the logic on his side. He's not afraid of a debate. He's not afraid of a good debate.
He doesn't know the first thing about basic logic. Anyone who had a basic logic class, one of the first things you would learn is fallacies. You would learn informal fallacies. So again, just because something's called informal versus formal has nothing to do with whether it's valid or not valid, as if you can do informal fallacies in the debate. It's just a way to classify things as more common in terms of like language or conversation, right?
So what do you think his confusion was? I don't think he was being dishonest, but what do you think his confusion is, and how can he learn more about this, right? Let's point in the right direction.
Right, so he's just going by what Detroiter tells him, which is what whoever their academic overlings are that are feeding them information. We know Isaac has some kind of handler that helps him with his quote unquote logic. This is not something that Isaac has all figured out on his own. So he's I would suspect under the influence of some vegan professor. In fact, I think I've even heard him refer to his professors that supposedly teach him or help him or aid him as handlers or whatever. And so that's why he's on this crusade, is because he's autistic.
It's a narcissistic wound. He's got a narcissistic wound, and he's not letting it go. He's upset. He wants his revenge. He wants to feel like he's the big logical man. His argument, he found the magic argument, right?
Oh no, wait a minute. I'm far bigger and far stronger
Here's
than
Isaac's
you.
comment to you, right? By the way, in Canada, yes, the soy Canadian himself, Isaac.
He's still here.
Isaac, we don't want to talk to you because you're insane. You can't be talked to. Go listen to the many other conversations I've tried to have with you. I mean, Isaac is the one who says you cannot make meta level arguments in a debate with me. Why would I enter into debate with you when my argument is about meta level?
He sets up an imaginary little sparring match where he thinks he's got the upper hand, and he won't allow real debate. And this is how a lot of these very dishonest. I don't know. I'm not surprised that happened. But we got other things we could talk about. Jay, do you mind staying on? Do you mind staying on for a little bit, like 30 minutes more? There's a video we could watch, which actually I think this will be very exemplar of the vegan worldview. It's about we talked about Gnosticism earlier, and this has a lot to do with the conversation we had earlier about the Gnostic nature of a lot of these insane, self-refuting worldviews such as veganism. So I got this video from this guy Humane Hancock that I'm going to pull up. But first, let me read some super chats. Let's see what they say. Yato Love donates $15.
How dare you? How dare humanity?
Okay. Thank you, Michelle Lowe. Yato Love donates $15. Says, this is funny. Tristan and Jay, the Vegan Destroyer Squad. Love you guys. I mean, we didn't even get to debate anything.
I mean, you can't debate these people. They won't be.
They flip the board.
Or civil. They just act like animals.
But watch their narrative after. Watch them try to weave a narrative afterwards. Like, they wussed out. They wussed out.
This whole thing is going to be how we cooked and we were afraid to debate him. I told you I don't want anything to do with Isaac. And it's only because he acts like a quack, insane person. It's not because I'm afraid of Isaac.
Jacob Christian donated $5 through Super Chat. Says, vegan phobic chat again. Vegan phobic chat. Let me answer your question. Homeboy wouldn't. The question is, are my backyard chickens justified animal harm if used to feed my genetically selected pet Czechoslovakian wolf dog and genetically selected pet house cat? So yes, that's okay. It's morally justified because, as the vegans say, from the vegan worldview, morality is just whatever you make it, man. Whatever, it's just subjective. It's just subjective, bro. According to them, veganism itself is not even right or wrong because there is no right and wrong. DB donated $5. Says, my support for Jay's OnlyFans career. Hope to see some booty shaking action. JD with a collab from Tristan. What do you think, Jay?
Play that song, that ASAP song.
We're getting to that. At the end of the super chats, we'll play the song to transition to the next segment.
The orthogonal remix.
So DB, thank you. I'm going to make sure next time Jay is streaming, I'll send that $5 over to Jay. Yeah, thank you. That's for Jay's OnlyFans career. No, I'll use that to subscribe to Jay's OnlyFans after the whole internet dumps him after he got totally destroyed by lifting vegan logic. And Isaac, ask yourself today, along with me. So we're going to have to run away and hide because of our shame. Slightly Crazy Vegan donated $5. Says, how can you not know who I am, Tristan? Haha, I have a I'm offended you don't remember me. Did we interact at some point? I think I remember Sky from You Did It Wrong mentioning your name. I think she talked about your video in one of our streams recently. I don't know. I'm sorry. If you want me to remember you, maybe you should do something memorable. The Art of Truth and Love donates $25 again. The Art of Truth and Love. What's up with that? What's up with that? And she sends the perfect transition video. The Art of Truth and Love. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate that. We're gonna watch that video after we read the last two super chats. Or dang, we got a bunch. Yato Love donates $15. Says we already read that. This is funny. Jay and Tristan, the Vegan Destroyer Squad. Love you guys. Andrew Herbst donates $5 through super chat. Congrats, Jay, on the wedding. Many years, bro. These vegans are having brain fog right now. So Jessica also says congrats for the wedding. I don't know if you heard. There was a really faint yay from the side here. She tries to pretend she's not in the room.
But I looked it up online at a place, and it's not a fallacy because I've seen it online.
Yeah, but it's orthogonal. That's orthogonal. That's beyond the scope of our conversation. Beyond the scope of our conversation. DB donated $2.99 and says his argument was having Isaac to debate for him. Okay, I guess. Isaac donated Canadian $2 through Super Chat. Says, nice to see the carnist cucking yet again. Oh, Isaac sent me $2. Guess what, Isaac? I'm going to put that money into abusing my animals. I'm going to use that money to buy a giant piece of leather with a bunch of spikes on it. I'm going to put Tabasco sauce all over it and go whip my chickens, because that's the only way you can get chickens to produce enough eggs, is if you abuse them. And I'm going to use that to abuse those chickens. I'm obviously joking. Isaac, you freaking dork. You are pathetic. Thank you for your money. That is the best super chat. It's so nice knowing that your Canadian $2 were sent. Save the rest of it though, Isaac. Ritalin gets expensive. Chase Haggard sends $5. He says, can we debate along my plan? And you just sit there like a punching bag for $5. No, it's not even like that. It's like there's not even a debate to be had there, right? There's not even a debate to be had there. Isaac, if you remember, Isaac and Vegan Gains started out by Isaac poisoning the well preemptively in the last debate. Okay, so thank you, Chase. Appreciate that, brother. DB donates $5 through Super Chat. Says, debunk Vegan Gains' new video, debunking claims against going vegan. You want me to debunk Vegan Gains' debunking claims? That's too much. That's too meta. The internet might get broken, but we might have to do that, DB, if we have time. First, we have to watch this video, though. We got this video. Jay, thank you for your patience, my friend. I know you expected to debate, but we got to watch a good debate last night. That was a great, just wonderful, entertaining debate last night. Last night's debate, which one was better, last night's debate or tonight's debate?
Well, there wasn't a debate tonight. It would have been nice to have had a debate. I was looking forward to that guy because within 5 minutes you could tell he didn't know what he was talking about. But if if it had been anybody but old Isaac, I would have stayed around. Even if it had been Detroiter, I probably would have stayed around just because he has just as much of a mental obsession as yourself. So
I don't know. I haven't been in your Discord that frequently lately, but it seems like
well, that was a public debate. That was. I mean, we had it that was on one of the big servers, like Collopian or Politics, I forget which one it was, but it was a really kind of an embarrassing show for the guy because he kept saying really stupid things. And he just kept doubling down and saying that he had won, even though he made some really basic one. It would be like the guy that we just had on here, Vegan Logic, admitting that,
he just said, he tried to say, oh, you guys forfeit the debate, I won. That's what he said. You forfeit, I win. I win. Sure, buddy. All right, here we go. The fact. All right, we're going to have a musical transition. And then Jay and I are going to watch one video, and we'll comment on this video. I want to hear, it's a pretty good one. I watched about 3 minutes of it, and I know where he's going with it, and I think it's going to be good. So I think you'll like this one. But sorry for the, I hate the dead air time. Let me pull this up. All right, thank you for the super chat, The Art of Truth and Love. And thank you for sending this video. We got
the fact that I say, the fact that I say, the fact that Jay,
like, dude,
what did I just say are the same? What am I questioning? What two statements am I questioning whether they're identical or not?
This was this. I can't believe this is what he came with.
Yeah, he does this thing where he's like, recite to me all the things that I just said, and to my satisfaction.
Yeah, it's to buy him time.
Like, what are the two questions that I said?
It's to buy himself time so that he can try to map out his next.
Wait. What are the two things that summarize what I said in the last 5 minutes?
Oh man, it's like Ritalin incarnate.
The fact that I say, the fact that I say, Jay, what did I just say are the same? What am I questioning? What two statements am I questioning whether they're identical?
You guys just seem so upset by me bringing up the fact that you have presuppositions.
So anybody wondering why we're not trying to have this conversation again, you can go watch this one. You can search on my YouTube channel, Vegan Gains, ask yourself Jay Dyer, and you'll find this video. It's about 2.5 hours of this. Except Jay left. Jay was smart enough to leave after 30 minutes.
I just left. It's like talking to two mentally ill people.
Yeah, I stayed and played with Vegan Gains for a bit, which was fun.
Wait, 1 sec.
Wait. Okay, go ahead.
Wait.
Wait. Okay, go ahead.
The fact. Okay, so
you're a major. Join us. The fact. Okay.
We use.
It took me 2 hours for you to say that I should accept your argument. That's how quick.
It sounds like you've been like an hour and a half avoiding saying that I should accept logic in his argumentation, because he kept trying to stress that there's no should in strict logic. There's no logical force or necessity.
But he wants you to just bypass that. Let's just assume logic. Therefore. Well, and then Vegan Gains.
And then he finally said you ought, and then that's when I called him out, and then that's when he shorted out because he finally messed up.
So again, they don't believe there is an ought. Right? They don't believe there is a reason you should do anything. There is no moral imperative, yet veganism is a moral imperative. But morality doesn't exist, yet veganism is a moral imperative.
So all of their energy, all of their sophistry is to deflect and avoid that central question that they can't deal with.
So I didn't watch. This is what sucks about fuckboy bailing on us to go to the club, and that fade on his face, man. There's something about like when you shave your beard like that just makes me really respect you. But when that fuckboy left, I'm bummed that he didn't stay around and actually debate, because I skimmed through his Instagram video, which I think is probably the same video that he put on YouTube, and it was total straw man. It was completely straw manning, trying to say what my argument is before we even heard it. So I was interested in hearing what his argument is, but he doesn't have an argument. He didn't want to bring it. He just wants to play
he says that the presuppositional argument is just, you're just assuming what you're trying to prove.
And which is what Vegan Gains' argument was, and then he goes, Vegan Gains when cornered,
ending of the argument,
right? Like when Vegan Gains was cornered, and I asked him, how do you justify logic and reason and these non-physical things that you believe in and are constantly calling upon to back up your argument? How do you justify these in your materialistic atheistic worldview? And he couldn't. And then he said, oh look, it's my water bottle. I use water bottle. My water bottle justifies everything. And he thought that was a BTFO moment that he had won. When in reality, he just
remember, did you see the T-Dump debate? That's what T-Dump did.
Yeah.
Reality is reality. It just is.
Reality
what
is
did Matt
reality.
Dillahunty say? It just is.
It is what it is, bro.
I don't have to give an account for anything I believe in. It just is.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Reality's reality, bro.
It's the Biden, right? Wasn't Biden saying that last night?
It is what it is because Trump is who Trump is. It's just rhetoric. Empty rhetoric. And this is what these people's worldview comes down to. I saw a great meme today, and it was pictures of all the the Daily Show hosts. You had Trevor Noah, what's his face, Stephen Colbert, Jon Stewart, and it was like, you get your reality doled out to you by comedians. Don't be surprised when your worldview is a joke.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately what we're looking at. So all right, let me just say, if lifting vegan logic, I know you had your plan, and your plan fell apart. We wouldn't accept your your debate bot partner. But if you want to come back on and debate me, you just want to debate me, we can do it, dude. We can still do it. I would love to invite you on. You can come on and debate me. All right, come on, take down old Corn Pop and come back and debate. We can actually debate. You can come up with your grand plan, and you can come back and you can come nicely this time, and not try to play games and see what happens.
I'll be glad to head out if he wants to debate you. I'd be glad to.
If he wants to come back, he can. If he wants to come back, I don't know if he's in the chat. Is he in the chat?
He's in the chat.
Okay, well, Lifting Vegan Logic, if you want to come back, come on back, man. I don't see him in the chat right now, but
I will politely exit, especially since he knows so much about logic fallacies.
Yeah, I want to hear a little bit about this.
Address what I just said. Could you just repeat back to me what my point was? We use the word we use called meta ethics to derail. What was my reasoning for saying that, or were you just responding without even listening?
You want me to tell you your reasoning?
It's
not about real debate. It's about framing, and it's about how you present.
It's about framing the narrative. That's why you started out poisoning the well.
It's just an ad hoc.
The logic.
Whoa, wait, no. If you're gonna call a rephrase, I want the original statement and the rephrase.
No, I'm not here to be a retrans.
No.
That's a good question. I spent 2 hours to get you to say
State everything that I said perfectly to my
The fact. Sorry, go ahead.
Restate everything I said, transcribe it, give me the read back, or like as if I'm supposed to sit there and like
transcribe it in binary code. Tell it back to me in binary code right now. Go.
And if you get one of the digits wrong, he'll say, "That's not my argument. That's wrong, man. That's not what I said."
Yeah. All right, Lifting Vegan Logic. If you want to come back on, I don't think he's even in the chat. Somebody's saying there's like a fake.
There we go.
Is that him? Lifting Vegan Logic. What do you say? Somebody might have made a fake account. That's a fake account. That's not his.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no, I don't think he'll come back. Anyways, if you see this later on, or I'm sure you'll just try and frame it and make some fake victory dance video, you can come back on and we can debate. You can come back on debate. Again, Jay didn't want to debate. Ask yourself, he's constantly trying to raid his Discord and get revenge for his narcissistic wound. But I would like to debate you.
He just wants attention.
What you just said.
That's what Lifting Vegan Logic seems like. He just wants attention too. He doesn't want to actually engage or have a real debate.
Dude, you can't even get your arguments out. What do you mean I'm incoherent?
Not an argument. It's not an argument. It's not an argument.
How many times will you do this? How many times will the soy boat repeat? The brain seems so soy clogged that you don't understand what he's actually showing you, because if you were to admit it and concede it, your little soy argument would just crumble. It would just melt like soy ice cream.
Okay, no, so I didn't hear any argument there.
The fact, here, I'll help you, Isaac. The fact, I'll help you, dude. I got you. The fact, I'll help you, dude. I got you.
The fact that do you care to? That's not an argument. So
yeah, you're not worthy of argument. You've already shown yourself unworthy of actual argument.
Okay, that's not an argument. So
I know it's not.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So then maybe stop doing it. Okay. So you've made 2 false claims there. You won't back off. Okay. Well, how about? Okay.
I gotta say. Let me see. Back this up. Let's check the.
Good grief, man! I look so fat.
Dude, that's what I was saying. Like Jay.
To the carnivore diet. Like I'm like what 20 pounds lighter.
Dude, Jay, you look freaking way better now, man. So different, dude. And like even back then.
Carb bloating.
Yeah, bro. Like the bloat is gone. Look, it's solid, man. Even your hair's got a swoop. Got a different swoop going on there.
I have a glow in my hair because of you, Tristan.
Get that golden glow, Jay. You're making me blush in front of my wife.
Okay. The fact that I say should.
He can unflip the mute.
This guy's on it.
I love you.
Wait.
To make it flip.
And that's the debate in a nutshell right there.
How much do you bench? How much do I bench? 3 jasmines.
That's a good edit. Dude, I gotta say, Phoenix Compilations, big shout out to Phoenix Compilations. If I could like that video 5 times, I would. Thank you, Phoenix Compilations. And you guys, Phoenix Compilations have been pulling clips from the streams. He's been stepping up to the plate. We're gonna have to... Primal Edge Clips is the channel. Phoenix Compilations is pulling those clips. Thank you, Phoenix Compilations. You are an invaluable Human resource. This is our HR department over there. Phoenix compilations. Okay. So that's, I don't know. I guess that's a good summary of what happened.
You not want to play the A$AP Rocky version?
Should we? Should we get down with it?
Young Virus.
This is kind of what started me and Jay's amazing burgeoning rap career, which is like we don't even rap. We mostly just talk about being rappers. We mostly just talk about being rappers and brag about being rappers, but that's what rap's really about, and it's not about having actual skills. Where's that window? I have too many dang windows. There it is, Young Virus. Young Virus. All right. Well, at least it was a fun stream. Sometimes they ding it, sometimes they don't. But my streams all get demonetized anyways, and YouTube's gonna unsub you from my channel eventually anyway. So make sure you're subbed, make sure to hit the thumbs up, and enjoy the smooth musical stylings. This is me and Jay's first rap track, actually, our only rap track.
We use the word should, right? We use the word should regularly in common parlance.
Oh, now it's not an ethical question. I spent 2 hours to get you to say should.
Wait,
you fucked up and said it.
Okay, well, the fact that I say should.
You see, Jay, like, dude, Jay, the fact that I'll help you, Isaac. The fact that
I say should. The fact that I say should. The fact that I say should. So that's all I have to say, and I'll let you guys debate.
That clip,
beautiful.
My Twitter has had like 20, 30,000 views total. That's why he's so mad at me.
Dude, I'm stoked. That's a good one, man. But shout out to Young Virus, and that's his only. He just dropped that golden.
Took those other ones down. They were all pretty good.
He had other ones. Young Virus, where you at? Young Virus, we need you. We need you to produce me and Jay's battle rap LP, EP. We'll do EPs first.
So like almost 7,000 of that on Twitter, and then 7,000 on Instagram. So that's why he's mad.
Damn, dude, I gotta say though, Jay Dyer, big difference, man. We're looking at like, I'm seeing like 50 pounds of bloat minus on the new Jay Dyer right now.
I don't know about 50, maybe 20.
20, all right. Well, you're not stepping on the scale all the time. I don't know, man. I'm seeing that face bloat was intense back then, dude. I'm glad you're doing well.
Well, that's right around the time that I started talking to you and got the idea to go ahead and try it out, and basically what, a year and a half later,
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, it's amazing how much nutrition can change, not just like how we physically perform, but a lot of people notice major mental differences as well, right? They get off the junk food, they start focusing on good quality nutrition, quality animal foods, and the brain functions better too.
Well, I didn't eat junk food ever. It's just that I couldn't figure out that all the carbs and the greens weren't necessary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're a useful tool, right? Carbs are a useful tool, but they're not necessary for everybody. And the greens are definitely, I don't think the greens are doing many favors. All these vegans think their green smoothies are saving the planet and saving their butts, but I don't think so. I don't think those greens are doing much good for anybody.
Well, I wish I could have given you more of an entertaining performance tonight, but that wasn't going to go anywhere. And as I said, I'm not going to have any interactions with Isaac. I have no interest in him whatsoever.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's over. That's in the past. That's 30 minutes back in the stream. If you guys want to scroll back, and you could find all that crap. But you want to? I got this one video we could watch and do some commentary. Okay. Then we could close it up. We got this young gentleman named Humane Hancock here. Excuse me, this is a family channel, Humane Hand Weenie. Only Jessica laughs at my jokes sometimes. She's just over here, she's like whisper laughing. She's like, that's so stupid. Yes, we can make pee-pee jokes every once in a while, guys. You can have some fun. You gotta lighten the load a bit. So we got Humane Hancock. He makes the infamous Soy Boy t-shirt. And here we go, Earthling Ed, we need to talk. Let's check this one out here.
Hey everyone, so I recently watched Earthling Ed's video about Joe Rogan's justifications for hunting. Ed made some good points. He obviously cares a great deal about the environment and the ecosystem, which is great, but I felt that at times focusing on these broader aspects might have undermined the perspective of the individual. There also seems to be a tendency to idealize nature and to see the naturally occurring state as optimal for wild animals. I'm going to point out a few instances in Ed's video where I think this is obvious. I want to clarify here that this is certainly not an attack on Ed. I'm just trying to highlight these issues because I think certain ideas may be harmful. Ed has been a great source of inspiration to me and has certainly influenced my decision to become an activist and to start my own YouTube channel. I really do think he's an exceptional activist, and I highly admire, respect.
Okay, who cares? Get to the point.
It seems like a very difficult life.
Hold on, sorry.
Being vegan and learning about animal rights, I started to think about animal ethics more broadly, which led me into learning about the lives of wild animals. And it turns out that the lives of most wild animals are filled with pain and misery too. They have to deal with starvation, disease, predation, sexual oppression.
He didn't know this? He had to study,
Through studying videos on YouTube, through studying not Richard Dawkins, what's his name? David Attenborough videos. Through studying them, I realized.
It seems like a very difficult life. The lives of animals in the wild also tend to be extremely short. Infant mortality is the norm. Most of the animals born within the last year are now already dead.
So here's what happens when a vegan starts to almost see reality and then has to find a way to hide that reality right behind the vegan smokescreen yet again, right? Wild animal suffering becomes a problem. We talked about this before. Remember we talked about David?
Yeah, it's always brought up, and it's like he didn't know this. Like he studied and found this out.
Well, David Pierce, remember we talked about David Pierce, who started Humanity Plus, the World Transhumanist Association. He's an ethical vegan, and he wrote that book called The Hedonistic Imperative. And he's all about maximizing well-being and reducing suffering, not just of human beings, but of all animals. So David Pierce actually suggests reprogramming, and in this transhumanist Gnostic way, rearranging the entire reality of all animals and of all life and of all of nature in order to reflect, I guess, the new, I guess it's this Gnostic concept of rearranging the world and of death and suffering to stop it. So basically, David Pierce wants to upload all the animals into Google Drive so that he can end suffering and they can all live in a virtual transhumanist reality. This is no joke. These people actually write about this crap. About ending all animal suffering through, vaccinating and microchipping them all and tracking them and giving them a perfectly curated false environment. It's this, I don't know, it's crazy. It's like this psychotic drive to create false prisons for all of creation in this weird Gnostic quest to free ourselves from the yoke of evil nature.
Well, this is the delusion you get if you don't have God. You end up with all of these absurd, meaningless, random worldviews that are given to you by billionaires who want to make sure you're dead. So you're just fodder for Satan.
There you go. So wild animals, we got to stop wild animal suffering. How are you going to do that, buddy?
Not only are these individuals suffering, but the scale of this suffering is incredibly large.
Okay, so suffering.
Notice the naturalist fallacy here. There's a reason why this is one of the fallacies, because for a long time we've heard that it's just natural, right? It's unnatural to do this. It's natural to do that. There's no a priori notion of what is or is not natural without a paradigm or a worldview to explain what that is and what that means. But all these people just act like it just is. It's obvious what's natural or whatever. And then they realize as they get deeper and deeper into this stuff, like this lesbian ant here, he's realized that, yes, you have to give a sense and a context to what it means to be natural or unnatural and what suffering does or doesn't mean. Now, what is the purpose? Maybe suffering has a purpose.
Yeah. So they assume that suffering is bad. So this is always an important question. what is suffering, right? Like, what is suffering? Please define suffering. And if they're coming from a naturalist standpoint, how do you measure this? He's talking about studying the science. We're studying the suffering. How do you study the suffering, right? How do you study it? You have to, I mean, tell us, like, how do you quantify the suffering? And they can't, I haven't heard a legitimate answer yet. A lot of them talk about, well-being. Well, okay, if you just pump something full of dopamine and you just, get all the animals wasted off of opioids, then that's going to end their suffering. Like, what if you just dose the whole planet, dose everything with a massive OD of heroin, and they'll end their suffering. It'll be blissful and beautiful, but they'll all die, and their suffering will be over. Some of these people are literally there. The anti-natalist threat of veganism and how veganism and anti-natalism are very, very close. Right?
No, one way we could eliminate all suffering, to eliminate all beings.
Exactly, and that's anti-natalism. So they say suffering is life, then we have to eliminate all suffering. And that's eliminate all life.
And wrap our heads around this, let's get warmed up with some smaller numbers. There are currently around 7.8 billion humans on planet Earth.
Ew.
To give us perspective, let's put this on a number line where 7.8 billion is equal to 1 inch, or about the width of a quarter. If you stacked up the entire human population on this number line, you would get a line about 1 inch long. Now let's look at the number of animals living...
Go ahead, Jay, say it. No, I'm just kidding.
...in factory farms right now who are being...
say the joke, Jay. Do the joke so I don't have to do it.
...systematically tortured for meat, dairy, and eggs. This is around 114 billion. On the number line, that's about 14 inches, or the width of a laptop. 114 billion is in the same ballpark as the total number of humans who have ever lived. Now let's talk about the number of wild vertebrates. Vertebrates are animals with a backbone. This includes mammals, reptiles, birds, amphibians, and fish. There are around 10 trillion vertebrates, which on our number line would equate to about 100 feet long, or about as long as a basketball court.
This is great moral calculus. This is some hardcore science. We need some beakers, and we need like a Bill Nye gif up in the upper right hand corner here.
I want to see some bubbling green liquids, or I don't believe this is.
Yeah, I need a beaker with the bubbling green liquid. And like those little Instagram gifs of Bill Nye with like science.
Yeah, and a lab coat. Lab coat.
Yes. So continue, please. Quantifying all life. The official census of all wild vertebrates is 10 to the 13th power, 10 trillion. Yeah.
Okay, let's stop there for a second. Imagine standing on one side of a basketball court, looking up at the net above you, and trying to spot on the far end of the basketball court a quarter that's been placed on the floor. That quarter represents the entire number of individual human lives being lived right now. And everything in between you and that quarter represents the number of individual vertebrates living in the wild who we know are aware of their lives. The number of sentient individuals living in the wild is mind-boggling. If we then add wildland arthropods, which includes insects like spiders, this adds a further 100,000 trillion animals. And at this point, it's certainly...
100,000 trillion. 100,000 trillion.
So there's a bunch of bugs and animals. Okay, so what?
Yeah. Well, they're suffering, Jay. We need to stop their suffering. We have to save them all.
Oh, is he going to do the moral calculus of like the points, suffering points, and how many?
If we can reduce their suffering by 3%, if one white savior called Humane Hancock can reduce their suffering by 1% and educate all the savages to stop eating meat, then we can reduce animal suffering by 10 to the 17th power, which is 100 trillion times.
Impossible to truly appreciate the number of animals living in the wild. Our brains just aren't capable of comprehending these numbers. On the number line, the number of wildland arthropods takes us from London to Snowdonia. Having learned about the scale and intensity of suffering in the wild, and understanding that we have the potential to do something about it, it became obvious to me that this is one of the most important issues on the planet. And with that said, let's get on with it.
So, like, everyone's locked in their homes. You're told you have to wear a mask. We're going to completely restructure every single thing about your life. Hey, we got mandatory vaccinations. Healthy, happy medicine shots that are totally safe. There are... Okay, so you got all this happening. You got child slaves slaving away, dying for your cobalt, for your methylcobalamin supplements. You've got color revolution, coup d'etats, orchestrated by big money interests all over the world, enslaving people to extract their resources, both physical and labor resources. But the biggest problem in the world is some of these invertebrates are suffering, right? Crickets don't have access to iPads, right? Cows don't have the right to vote. This is so terrible. Black widows are killing and eating smaller bugs.
Video. Hunters will kill the strongest animals they can find, the most impressive animals, the animals with the biggest antlers, the strongest animals. But that's not what happens in the wild. Normally, predators will kill the weak and the sick animals. And so actually what Joe's doing is something really dangerous that's having a knock-on effect to the ecology and to the evolution of species. For example, bighorn sheep have seen...
So you're ruining evolution. You're harming evolution by hunting them. That's the argument.
In the size of their horns decrease in the past 30 years. And there are now fewer Asian and African elephants that have tusks. But how does that make sense? Because these attributes are normally signifiers of a species that is being prosperous. Because these attributes would normally be beneficial for those animals. However, in the modern world, these attributes are seen as being detrimental to these animals because it makes them more likely and susceptible to be killed by human hunters. And so actually by hunting these animals, Joe and people like him are doing the opposite of what should be happening in nature.
So he knows what should be happening in nature. Him as a creature, he believes that he's this creature, this automaton created by nature, growing from a germplasm and pond
Here
scum.
comes his ought. This should.
Yeah.
Here's your ought.
Should.
The imperative.
So if this young lady came to you with this argument, Jay, what would be your response? Would you have a question? Would you have what would be your response to this young woman?
Why should I do anything given your worldview?
Yeah. What do you think his answer would likely be?
Something circular about how we ought to reduce suffering. We ought to ensure the well-being of other entities. But why?
Yeah,
and don't you feel it's wrong? I asked for a justification for why, on what basis?
And the appeal to emotion, right? No, don't you just feel?
Exactly.
You just
appeal
feel
to emotion
that
and appeal to various other fallacies.
You just feel it. Don't you feel that it's wrong? Would you want to slash a dog's throat?
Would you want that happening to you?
Would you want to be eaten?
I'm not an animal.
Yeah.
So here we're entering into the domain of metaphysics and the whole worldview. So I don't have the worldview of Joey Carveshong or Earthling Ed or whoever this character is. They're all the same to me.
Yeah, Gelfling Ed. Right. No, and this is the
Gelfling Ed.
I think that's the official. Yeah, Gelfling Ed. No, Earthling Ed. Excuse me. Sorry, Ed. Edward Gaunt.
He looks like a Gelfling.
He does, right? You're like the only person who gets that reference. Nobody laughs at that ever. I always say Gelfling Ed. Thank you, Jay Dyer. You just redeemed yourself by laughing at my stupid Gelfling joke. Nobody gets it, man.
That was perfect.
Shout out to Jim Henson and the Gelflings. What was the head Gelfling's name? It wasn't Link. Link he's basically like a gayer Link.
There's one of them is named Jen. I don't remember if that's the guy or the girl.
Are you talking about Black Crystal?
Yeah, the Dark Crystal. The Black Crystal. Come on. Such a civilian.
Oh, that's the other version. You've been watching the other version.
That's the Onlyfans version.
Creating a transgression in the development of animals rather than a progression.
Ed is explicitly stating that what happens naturally in the wild is also what should be happening in the wild. But how are we coming to this conclusion? Well, we could say it should be this way because this is the way it is without human interference. It is simply the way of nature. Of course.
Okay, so Jay, do you see this weird contradiction? So nature and humanity, we're separate from nature. I mean, how do we reconcile this? Why is man separate from nature? Isn't it funny? All these vegans, they seem to assume the fall, right? Human beings are separate from nature. They seem to assume this. The nature is doing things that are wrong, right? Animals are killing and eating each other. They have this sense that they don't like what they see. But it's funny how they
this is again the destruction of all this is just to read David Hume because he's a more consistent atheist. And if you just think about the way that they usually try to explain why they think you should do this, or why they think that this is supposed to be the case, is what we need to shoot for. You ask them why, and they usually say, because we know that's what we need to do, because I feel like that's right, because we've evolved to have reasoning and empathy. None of those are statements of what they think are just statements of fact. Okay, you don't get from a statement of fact or what is the case to what ought to be the case. And anybody who's read David Hume knows that if you're an atheist, if you're a skeptic, you don't believe in God, metaphysics, etc., there's no way to justify the belief that you can jump from a is the case to an ought to be the case. So the whole of veganism is destroyed just by that alone, because they don't have a basis to tell you that you ought to be vegan, that you should do this, that you shouldn't do that.
There you go.
So, and anytime they reply with something like, well, yeah, but wouldn't you want that for you? That's not a justification.
Yeah. Your desires are not justification. Your feelings are not justification.
I want there to be pink Bill Cosbys that I can fly around in the sky.
That doesn't
exist. Is that a
exist.
justification for the pink Bill Cosby that I can ride around and fly in the sky? No. But I really want there to be that.
Disney World, take note.
I want to see that.
What is the new Disney ride? Take the red pill or the blue pill. Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby as Morpheus ride at Disney World, 2029.
So what they don't know is like, so if you take classes in epistemology or philosophy, the easy first things you learn is about justifying a belief, giving account for your belief, distinguishing it from what are typically erroneous courses of reasoning, right? Just saying, I think it should be that way. I feel like it should be that way. Those are not arguments. They're not justifications. They're not sound reasons. You have to give a sound reason. You can't just say, it is that way.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I mean, it is what it is basically do what thou wilt.
So people in the chat, we already let perspective philosophy into my Discord, and it didn't go well. I'm not wasting my time with these people. These people are idiots. They're atheists. They don't have any belief in anything beyond.
Wait, Jay, I've heard you here. I've heard you debate a lot of atheists very effectively. I've heard you debate many atheists really, really well, right? So I don't know. What do you mean? Like they're atheists? They don't bring anything good? Because I've heard some great debates with you and atheists.
Because by necessity, I already debated him in the Discord. I've seen what I'm going to get. I'm not interested in the same old atheist story. I've had hundreds of atheist debates in 20 years. I've been debating for 20 years. I'm not new to this. There's no new atheist argument any atheist is going to present to me that I haven't heard for the last 20 years. So no, I don't have to debate somebody and prove myself to some guy with 2,000 followers that I'm scared of that random ass dude, as if I haven't heard every freaking atheist argument for the last 20 years. I already know. I could argue atheism better than them. I could go to David Hume and critique my own position better than they could. Because Hume is the best atheist. He's the quintessential atheist. He's the atheist that we, as presuppositionalists, tell everyone else to read. Because he shows you that consistent atheism and skepticism from David Hume all the way up until today with Quine, right, just shows you that there's no such thing as logic and justification. For Quine, it's just psychology. Quine says we don't do justification anymore. We don't prove our positions anymore. It doesn't exist because there's no way to do it, right? Because he's following in hundreds of years of atheist logic and argumentation. There's hundreds of years of this conversation that's gone on already. And most of these people don't even know this. They don't even know what the centuries of conversation and debate are. And they want to come as if there's not already some guy that's made your dumb argument. Probably 20 years ago, probably 50 years ago. Probably
Hold on, Jay. But look, dude, here, I've got the best argument right here. God's mean, though. I don't like God. God's mean. I don't like the things that God does. Well, how come God doesn't make everything like I want it? That it always eventually comes to that, right? Oh, well, how come God made it to where I have to die? How come God made it to where I'm not perfect and I'm not God? And it's like, that's like their argument. How come I'm not God though?
So I just want them to be consistent. And what would be more consistent for them is to be like Quine and say that there is no such thing as logic and debate anymore. There's just doing human psychology. That's it. And probably some of these people, deep down, that if they're consistent with their atheism, that's what they think. Because it's time to give up logic. It's time to give up regularity in nature. It's time to give up induction. All of these things that Hume said you can't really explain or justify because you're all dumb empiricists. Empiricism can't justify any of those things because they go beyond empirical sense data. Right? I mean, I can make it really easy. Almost all of those guys are empiricists. Almost all of them. They believe that knowledge comes from sense data, right? But you can't prove from sense data that all knowledge comes from sense data. That alone refutes that whole worldview, right? Again, go read David Hume. So I don't even have to, I can just say, just read David Hume. You don't even have to debate me. Where is your response to your own atheist, David Hume?
So and what is Hume's argument? What is the most important argument that Hume makes? What is the most important point that Hume makes that drives the point home that you're driving right now?
That any belief that we have cannot consistently be justified when you are an empiricist, because sense data is limited, extremely limited. But most of the atheist tradition, there's a few outliers, but most of the atheist tradition has tended to be based around empirical sense data arguments. And that's just simply to say that anything that's not immediately under the microscope within your purview, you can't justify or know or have a reason, an account, an explication for why you believe that. Logic, right? The past, the self, the mind, induction, regularity in nature, like all of these things that go into what it is to be science, the presuppositions of science. So none of those things can really be explained or given an account for or grounded other than to just say that they are. But just saying that they are or just appealing to sense data, you can't say, well, I know that my senses are reliable because my senses tell me that. That's circular, you see. You can't do that. That's an invalid move. It's not a good argument. So basically, all of that whole crew of people has never consistently answered David Hume because they can't, because when you have that presupposition, there's nowhere else to go. It's a self-limiting position, you see. Does that make sense?
What do you think, chat? Anybody in the chat?
So I say it's very, very simple. All knowledge comes through sense data. The proposition, all knowledge comes through sense data, cannot be known from sense data. So it's self-refuting. And then all the other arguments that Hume's making are just variations of that. Where in sense data do you find the self? Where in sense data do you find the past?
This is what's so weird about debating some of these people, right? So they'll start out with this ethical argument. Then they'll move over to, you have to prove everything using empiricism.
I'm pointing out the appeal to nature fallacies.
You're going to have to prove everything using sense data, using sensory data and empiricism. But then they can't prove that very statement themselves empirically. Right, so it's self-contradictory right away. You have to prove everything empirically. All knowledge comes through empiricism, through sense data.
Right.
Does that knowledge itself come through sense data?
And no, obviously it does not. So you're correct that the whole position falls apart right there, because that's a starting point. And by the way, that's not the only serious problem for a atheist, empiricist, skeptic kind of person. There's also the myth of the given, the problem of the external world, the problem of induction, the status of immaterial objects, and the fact that there's no properly basic belief that you can show to actually be properly basic. So these are all very serious, completely destructive problems for that kind of worldview.
Let's keep going with young Austin Powers here.
Non-vegans make when attempting to justify their consumption of animal products. And so it would be almost ironic to make this argument. For those of you who don't know, an appeal to nature is a logical fallacy that occurs when something is claimed to be good because it's perceived as natural, or bad because it's perceived as unnatural. However, there are many naturally occurring things that we consider to be bad, just as there are many unnatural things that we think are good. For example, many diseases occur naturally. And yet, as a society, we agree that disease is bad.
Again, what is natural? How do you define this? Naturally, it seems like their definition of natural is without human intervention. As soon as humanity intervenes, it becomes unnatural. And this is an assumption that you see in a lot of worldviews. Where does this come from, Jay?
Well, this is to commit the word concept fallacy, or to be, you could frame it like it's a loaded question, because that's a really nuanced, difficult term. It's not exactly clear what, quote, nature is outside of some context or paradigm. So, for example, other words in the history of philosophy like being, existence, nature, reason, these are very common words, but they have very different senses in a lot of different philosophers' systems. So one of the reasons that there's the naturalist fallacy, which he's correct to point out, I'm glad he at least got that right, is because it's not exactly clear what is.
You got to turn off the video on your end.
Sorry, somebody sent me this link. Sorry, Jay, keep going. Naturalistic fallacy. Sorry.
It's just that it's not sufficiently clear a priori what is or isn't natural without a context or paradigm that goes along with that. Again, the example we always give is, predator-prey. Is that natural or unnatural?
Right.
And there's a lot of things that occur in, quote, nature, but that doesn't, on the surface, tell us whether that is natural or unnatural. So,
right. Well, so
actually, this guy is kind of correct here in this point.
Yeah, so this is why I found this video so interesting, because he broaches the truth, but then it's fascinating to see how he judo moves it back into we must justify, we got to justify the veganism.
Bad, and we want people who are suffering from disease to receive treatment so they can live as healthy and as happy a life as possible.
So again, what is happy? What is happy? There are people who take pleasure in harming people, right? They're masochists. There are people who take pleasure in sin, in destruction, in chaos, and that makes them happy.
So the mistake of these guys is the mistake of a lot of people, which is, again, just like with the naturalist fallacy, there's no a priori clear brute fact just by osmosis looking at the word happy that tells you what that actually is. Okay, so natural, happy, reason, logic, all of these things are part of a paradigm, and they only make sense within a complete totality worldview, right? There's no, let me give you an example to prove this. We've proven this in the past. Like if I'm talking to a guy who's an atheist, and he believes that the things out there in the world just are, they don't have a beginning, they weren't created, they're just matter in motion. So he believes that an object exists, right, just as that, without any inherent meaning, it just is. As a Christian, I believe that things exist as creations, right? So just the word existence is not synonymous between our two worldviews. My notion of what something existing is radically different from his notion of something existence. So you can't appeal to things like existence, nature, reason, as if there's a common notion amongst all systems as to what those things are.
When they start appealing, they say, oh, well, reason tells me that this, or logic tells me that this. Right? These are metaphysical concepts. Reason.
That's true. And yes, it's true that we all have a faculty of reason, but that's different than explaining or justifying what that faculty of reason is according to a paradigm. So the fact that I'm using reasoning is not itself a justification or an explanation of reasoning. So that's another mistake they'll do. They'll be like, well, we're all using reason, so therefore we all know what reason is. No, I mean, a guy who uses an iPhone who's a computer technician knows what an iPhone is all about. And a guy who's, living in some homeless dude who doesn't have any education, he can use an iPhone, but he doesn't know the workings of an iPhone. So the mere fact that we do something or use something says nothing about the knowledge or justification of that thing.
I'm not homeless. I live in a mud hut, and I do have a bachelor's degree, just so you know, Jay. And that was hate speech.
The point is that in nature, the weak animals are usually the ones who are killed, whereas hunters kill the healthiest and most impressive animals, causing a transgression in the development of animals rather than a progression. However, I think there's something we're forgetting here. Natural selection by evolution will select for traits in individuals that increase the probability of reproductive success, Natural selection does not select for happiness or well-being. As long as a heritable trait increases reproductive success, it's likely to quickly become prevalent in a given population, even if it also has some negative effects for the well-being of individuals. For example, male cats have evolved to have little spikes on their penises. During intercourse, as the penis is withdrawn, the spikes will...
I don't know why my wife laughed at that, but
all the examples you have to
they have little spikes on their penises. Jessica says, out of all the examples you could have come up with, and Jessica, look, he put a picture up.
He's so thoughtful.
All these weirdos, man, they're into the weirdest stuff, all these creeps.
They have spiky penises. You can find them on OnlyFans.
Break the walls of the feline vagina. This doesn't sound like a very pleasant experience, but it increases the chances of reproductive success in male cats. My point is that natural selection...
It's so funny, you could take this... Oh, well, clearly Jay Dyer, he has this shirt which looks quite like a boomer shirt. And, when you think about it, the more mature a woman is, the more fertile she is. So if you can attract a mate with a boomer shirt like Jay Dyer or Tristan are currently wearing, you can increase your chances of passing on your genes because the boomers will accept your flannel shirt genetics. Therefore, the flannel shirt is improving your ability to pass on your genes to future generations. And there's a battle between the Hawaiian shirts and the flannel shirts to see which can truly pass on the best genes, which will survive and be the survival of the fittest. And we can tell that it is the fittest because it survives.
Letting you know that it's not a Hawaiian boomer shirt.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. That's like a Stussy. That's
it kind of is. It looks like a 90s, like a Massimo or...
Yeah.
Is that the French, what do you call the Saints? What, I don't know.
That's a cool shirt, man. I gotta say, I do have to say, you guys, we make fun of Jay's shirts sometimes, but I am an admirer of some of Jay's attire. So he's got some nice prints. That Jay Dyer, he got some nice prints.
This was a gift, actually. I did not go and pay for this. This is a designer shirt.
His wife forced them to wear that shirt, is what he's saying. She made him wear it.
No, my mommy bought me a designer shirt.
Okay. Somebody, you vegans can clip that, and you can say you won the debate.
We won the debate. We got him to admit that his mommy was in designer shirts.
About the well-being of individuals. And to me, a progression would refer to an improvement in the well-being of the individuals.
Okay, so how do you define well-being? How do you measure well-being? Right? There are people who derive well-being from destroying people's lives, like the royal family, Jimmy Savile. What about his well-being? Right? How did Jimmy Savile measure his well-being? Is that just as justified as how you measure your well-being? Like, how do we measure?
I mean, yeah, the right to mate and have the coitus with dead animal carcasses and dead human carcasses is a fundamental right that every pleasure-seeking being ought to have.
It's the fundamental right.
As opposed to a return to the naturally occurring state. Furthermore, if Joe Rogan decides to only hunt and kill the weak...
I don't know why that's funny.
Tristan, by the way, there's a vegan in the chat that would like you to know that, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you can actually get all of the necessary nutrients without having to kill another being.
You can get all the nutrients.
I don't know if you've heard this argument before.
Yeah, you can get all the nutrients you need. Hey, name the nutrient that you can get. Name the nutrient that you can't get from plants, you can get from animals that makes you healthy. They'll say that. Name the nutrient. Name the nutrient. Isn't that this reductionist? You can't reduce it to this level? It must be false. But it's like they're always having to deal with people feeling like shit on their vegan diet, feeling physically and mentally ill, leaving veganism, getting physically and mentally well. Well, how do you justify that? How do you justify creating suffering in human beings who you believe are just animals?
I do want to give the vegans credit, though. I'm being totally serious because they do serve a great function to call attention to the fact that
the fact. I have to. Go ahead.
Yes, that fact.
Yeah.
That fact. Yeah. Exactly. That fact. when they go out and debate people, they do call attention to the fact that you can't really talk about natural law and what's natural without metaphysics.
Yes.
And so they do serve a purpose to force people to admit that there has to be a distinction between humans and animals. That gets into the domain of metaphysics, the soul, reasoning, right, et cetera, being made in the image of God. That's the distinction that we have as to why there's higher dignity that humans have and the right that was given to them to eat animals by God. So in other words, if I wanted to make a point to other atheists or people who do believe that they have a right to eat animals, let's say you got an atheist who's a carnivore and then you got an atheist who's a vegan. These two can never get out of the dilemma. They're going to be chasing each other's tails. And so the vegans do serve an interesting purpose to point out to another atheist carnivore on what basis is it wrong or right. And I'm not saying that the vegans are right. I'm saying that between these two, they can never resolve this debate.
Yeah, and they bring up the nonsensical nature of our modern worldview, right? They bring up and they point to, and they're very good at manipulating the average normie. Yes. This is why I find them the perfect example, because they even ask yourself, right? Ask yourself's argument will work on the average pharmaceutical drug suckling normie, right? The brain clogged normie will buy into that argument, and they already feel guilty and ashamed, and they've been institutionally. There's this whole institution of making people feel guilty and ashamed for just being human, right? Like your exhalations are bad, your CO2 is bad. Every time you step on the ground, we're back. I'm back here with Jay Dyer, owner of Third Eye Blind is the greatest band alive.com. We're here talking about we're trying to figure out the greatest Third Eye Blind song. We're singing Alanis Morissette duets, me and Jay. We're back.
What movie is this from? You ready? I got a movie question. You ready?
Yeah.
Eyes to see you.
Eyes to see you?
Eyes to see you.
Shit, well it's Arnold. Batman.
It's that worst of all Batman.
The worst Batman. The worst Batman. Dude, Batman, what was the first Batman? Tim Burton's Batman? I really liked that as a kid. Yeah. Right, with Jack Nicholson. I saw that way too young, too. I shouldn't have watched that movie. I think I saw it when I was like 10 or 11 years old. I shouldn't have watched that at that age. That was good. And then Batman Forever, I did enjoy that. But I think it was just because Nicole Kidman's I don't know, she showed some side boob or something. And I think I was very young and vulnerable to the side boob of Nicole Kidman at the time. Side boob? Oh, you guys, Nicole Kidman has an Onlyfans. Nicole Kidman has an Onlyfans. The stream is over. We have to go. Nice
to see you.
Nice to see you. But I've never even been to Mars. We still have to watch. We're gonna do a stream.
I watched it last night. I'm looking. By the way, that's our next stream. Tristan and I are going to be covering 3 top mind control movies. We picked Jacob's Ladder,
Total Recall,
and Total Recall.
Yeah. Clockwork Orange. Clockwork Orange used to be one of my favorite films. I actually really liked the book when I was in college. And when I was really into the whole Gnostic, New Age, psychedelic worldview, I did enjoy the book. I guess thinking back on it, partly because it showed the dangers of the whole Gnostic psychedelic worldview. It did show how that could be hijacked and used by totalitarian regimes and technocracy. But yeah, Burgess's book, I did really like that book. Did you ever read his The Clockwork Orange book?
I got halfway and then I got distracted and never finished it. But I have halfway.
It's hard. The only shitty thing about the book is Kubrick's film has already imprinted so much on your mind. The visuals of the film, the voice of Alex, Malcolm McDowell.
The Droogs. Alex and his Droogs.
We had the Melosa, what is it? Adrenochrome and Melosavet or whatever. The adrenochrome references in there. Yeah, that's a really good film, and it's hard not to project the voice of Alex and the Droogs from the film into the book. It's
call it a night.
Yeah, man. We got one more super chat here. We got Alanis Morissette. Alanis Morissette donated $4.99 rather through Super Chat, says,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. No, but she says, isn't it ironic? Don't you think? That's the actual, it's like rain on your wedding day. That's the actual Alanis Morissette, the real Alanis Morissette. I'm so glad you're a fan. This is like the third time.
I saw her when we were filming our show. She was at the hotel that I was at in Boulder when we were filming Hollywood Decoded.
Nice, man. You say, what's up? What's up, Alanis?
No, actually, I didn't know what to say. I was kind of bumfuzzled because she was standing right there at the hotel desk, and I was like,
so you don't want to bug people because you know they get bugged all the time with like weird shit. It's like, all right, you
I
enjoy
would have
your
got
day.
it. If I'd have thought about it, I just didn't even. I just sat there. I didn't say anything. I didn't think what. But I should have said, "Hey, let me get a selfie." That's what everybody does now. Let me get a selfie.
Dude, you should have jumped right in front of her and go, it's like rain on your wedding day. Right in her face. That's the only way to go about it.
Use some really cheesy lines. Isn't it ironic that we're meeting?
It's so ironic, don't you think? Do you think? It's like rain on a wedding day. We got super chat from Tim. Tim donates $10, doesn't even say anything. DB donates $2.50, says lesbian ant lives matter. I agree, lesbian ant lives matter, but he spelled it A-N-T. I think Jay was going for A-U-N-T on that
Actually, it's a double entendre that works either way, right?
It does work. It does work either way. We got to go for that hive mind. Hive mind. Fonz donates $5 through super chat, says nice remix. Gertej donates $10, says do not forget to answer my last Streamlab, Tristan. Hey, Gertej, run.
No, this is all being foisted upon us. This is all to make the males weak and pacifist so that we can be destroyed and conquered.
What is?
This whole movement of all these people and all this bullshit that's being funded. It's all intentional. It's all warfare.
Right, no,
These
it's
people don't understand
it's worldview warfare. This is why the preview image is what it is on this channel or on this stream. Let's pull up that preview image one more time. That's the preview image. You guys can still hear us. That's worldview warfare, right? You got Prince Charles right there pointing at the Coomer with Onlyfans. You got the Buddha emanating all the little mini Buddhas. Yes, Queen, Bill Gates.
Yes.
My sexuality is sacred. Bisexual pastor turned stripper has never been happier. Spreading my legs is the most empowering thing I've ever done, right? Comforting all these poor refugees with my vagina is the most empowering thing I've ever done as a woman. It's warfare. Right, and the worldview warfare, it goes beyond just sexuality, which is a very obvious one with Cardi B and all this stuff, hypersexualizing children, but also
it's diet. It's to make the males weak and passive and pacifist, and it's for the destruction of not just the West but of all heretofore known existing human societies, so that we can transition into the technocratic age.
Yeah, and this is not something that Jay's just making up here. This isn't something that just, we think this is cool to say or something. We like saying this, we like believing this because this comforts us. This isn't a comforting reality. Realizing that the comfort is in God, right? There is comfort in God. There is comfort in faith, in belief in God. There is salvation, and there's no salvation of the world. Like, you're not going to save the world through going vegan. You're not going to save the world through voting for Biden. You're not going to save the world for voting for Trump. Through voting for Trump. You're not going to save the world through your vote, through how you eat, through what you put in your body. But you can be destroyed by those things, right? You can have your worldview systematically eroded and destroyed by believing these things like crickets and cows and chickens are equal to a human baby, right? But eggs are murder, right? But abortion at 8 months, right? Slaying a child in the womb, that's cool. That's reproductive health services. You're helping women. You're empowering women. But eating an egg, feeding your child an egg that's murder. It's completely insane. It's absolutely insane. This is... we got people like who we have on here. We had Lifting Vegan Logic, Mr. Logic. You're welcome to come back on the stream. Like I told you before, Jay would have graciously took off, gone and got a good night's rest, right? He's been streaming for 82 hours straight. Just live stream, 82 hours straight. He's an IRL streamer now, basically, Jay, on everyone else's channel.
Well, I was over on my Chatterbait and my Onlyfans streaming live, and then I came over here for you. So.
He was on Chatterbait. Shit, he even jumps on a chat roulette every once in a while to flash the flash the ladies, to flash his fash to the ladies. But you know, we didn't have to come here. We didn't have to do this stuff. We take time out of our day. We want legitimate debate. So lifting vegan logic. If you would like to come on and debate. Come on and debate, dude. If you got the hot sauce, you got the magic sauce, you got the special sauce, that's good. You have the logic. Logic is on your side. The truth is on your side. I'll debate anybody. Isaac isn't welcome on this channel anymore, though. That's the thing. It's like, you're not welcome, Isaac. You're welcome to keep trying. It's very entertaining. but you're not welcome to come on the channel. I love when you try. And you try so hard. You try harder than... Let's give a round of applause. Jay, will you join me? A round of applause for Isaac.
Why doesn't he take all that time and energy and make his own content?
Why don't you make a participation trophy for you in the world of philosophical debate. Isaac, you have a participation trophy. That's for you. You have that. No one can take that away from you. You participated. DB donates $10, says near-death experiences have noted on the other side, suffering is neither seen as good or bad, but is a needed for growth, as you cannot have peace without its opposite. Curious what your takes on this and NDEs in general. All right, so not near-death experiences. Jay, just quick hot take on that. I know there's a big subject.
The definition that he gave of peace requiring struggle and suffering is not ultimately the case, because that's a feature of the fallen world. So that wasn't the case in Eden, and it won't be the case in the eschaton. There will be peace without the necessity of suffering. But it does characterize this world. There's not suffering is just a feature of this world. And it's unavoidable. It's never going to be done away with. And you could look at the attitude of these people that as if you could do away with suffering, as a version of a false utopianism, as if we're going to construct this utopia. This is just the latest incarnation of all utopian fantasy nonsense that these people are too stupid and too naive to know is not real. It's unrealistic. And they're just tools, they're dupes, they're pawns of much smarter, much more wealthy, much more powerful people using these utopian idealists as pawns to basically hedge their bets and get rid of their competition. That's ultimately what it is.
Nice. We got a super chat specifically for you.
I got my D levels tested once before I supplemented, and I had the D levels of an institutionalized elder. Like these people who are like in nursing home.
That's the soy face embodied. Dr. Michael Greger, as they call him in the vegan world, His Holiness, the Dalai Greger. Thank you very much. We've got Alex G donates $3.99, says, Jay, what do you think about the war in Armenia?
I don't know. I've not even been able to keep up with this. I'm writing a book for Father Peter Hears, so
nice.
I don't have time for any of this stuff. I had my nose in books about some divine simplicity and philosophy for the last several days. So I have no idea even what's really going on.
There you go. Beautiful. So if you guys want a serious look into some of the deeper philosophical content that we're talking about here, check out Jay Dyer's website, jaysanalysis.com. Become a member. This is one of the few websites. Last year I paid twice for a membership because legitimately it was so much. It's worth it. Right, like I wanted to hook up Jay. I realized, I paid twice for a membership last year. I gotta admit, I love Jay Dyer's work. He does a great job. So yeah, DB,
Thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't even know that.
You didn't even know that. Well, yeah. Well, now you know. Now you know, Holmes. I don't think.
Well, I'm glad to see your D levels are off the charts, Tristan, and it was a pleasure.
My D levels are always up there. Gertej, let's go back to Gertej's. I think you'll like Gertej's question here. Jay, and I guess this is directed to me as well. Gertej donates $7.50, says, I'm 24 years old and still a virgin. I want a wife, daughters, and sons, but do not own a phone and will never do so. How do you rate my chances of finding my twin flame? in this fallen technocratic dystopia without using millennial pickup artist techniques. First of all, drop the term twin flame. Loaded term. Loaded term, twin flame. Second,
is this a troll or is this a real person?
No, Gertej is real. Gertej has been around for years, man. I think he's trying to find a good wife. I would say, like, seek God first, man. Seek God, seek the truth. And they'll come along. Like, the right woman will come along with you.
Don't make finding a woman your priority.
Yes.
And then she'll come along.
Exactly. So stop worrying about finding a woman and the right one's going to come to you. Seriously. The right one's going to come to you. And look, it might be difficult. You guys both might have some things to work through. It's going to take years to get to the point where you know, that ideal relationship that you think exists, that doesn't exist. We're all fallen. We're all human, right? And it's going to take work from both of you to find that good relationship, to build the right relationship. My best advice is just seek God. Like, seek God, build your own strengths, and seek God. Build a life that is so worth living that someone else is going to be willing to come along, right? Make the journey so powerful, and it's not powerful in your own regards, as in, like, you're going to weave this beautiful narrative and, like, you know, write this beautiful poem for a woman and bring her into your world and into your little illusion of reality. No, seek God and bring others along with you, and you can build a family that way. I would say that's the best thing to do. I don't know how else to say it.
Cool beans, dude. All right, I'm gonna head out, man.
All right, we got, I think, a nice remix. We got no more super chats. One more, sorry. Luthien donates $5. You go to license to be wearing that shirt, EJ.
I do.
Chase Haggard donates.
I got a license from my mommy.
You got a license. Chase Haggard donates $2 through super chat. But logic just works, and we've read them all the super chats. Thank you guys for hanging out. It's been a long time. Gertej, I hope you like that answer. Do not forget to answer my last stream live, Tristan. I answered it, and we're good. So,
guys, if you want to be the big man, the big daddy.
The big daddy. Uh-oh. So Gertej Rana says for £5, says, I'm as real as you, Jay. Is that a rap battle? Dude, I think he just challenged you to a rap battle. He says he's as real as you. Jay's the realest MC.
Well, that's another one of those loaded philosophy terms, so I don't even know what real means. We'll have to look at all the different philosophers and all the different definitions.
What does real even mean, bro? What if I'm in the Matrix and you're in the Matrix and God's in the Matrix and Joe Rogan's in the Matrix and Jay Dyer's in the Matrix, bro? Whoa. All right.
I'm the dream of Joe Rogan about the Matrix, and I'm in the Matrix in Joe Rogan's dream, dreaming about a matrix inside of Joe Rogan's dream.
Therefore, veganism. There you go. So we got Father Deacon Ananias. How's it going? Father Deacon Ananias, good to see you here. All right, guys, check out Jay Dyer's channel. Jay Dyer on YouTube.
Sorry, we couldn't have a real actual debate, but we need real humans to do a debate and not programmed bots.
No, and seriously though, lifting vegan logic. Sorry it had to go down that way. I think you could have probably expected it to have gone down this way. The fact that you let the fact ask yourself drag you along, that's pretty sad, because it ruined your possibility to have a debate with us. It was nice chatting. Yeah, hope it works out. The fade was slick, dog. That fade was slick up on the that fade job up there. You got that faded beard, yo. That's slick, man. The ladies gonna be picking up on that.
Not fade.
You gonna be increasing your D levels with the ladies with that slick, dog. So yeah, enjoy your night lifting vegan logic. Sorry we couldn't debate. Again, you're more than welcome to come on. You can come on just yourself if you want. That's fine. But I guess you had a plan. Your plan didn't work out. Isaac's not welcome, but you can come on anytime you want. So come on back. Come on back and you can come on. Jay Dyer, jaysanalysis.com, right? Where else can people find you, and what can people expect from you down the line? Jay?
My OnlyFans account, Panty Breath, my Chatterbait account, Dancing Bunyan, and my YouTube, Jay Dyer.
There you go. Jay Dyer on YouTube. Become a member at primaledgehealth.com as well. You guys can find more at Primal Edge Health. We got plenty more to come. Hey, look, any of you vegans want to step up and actually debate, except for Isaac, ask yourself. We've already done that. You can come on. So We'll see you guys next time. Later, guys.
Word.